Hey guys, so for the longest time, I've kind of been asked questions like, hey, why are you feeling so stressed? Or why do you look like that? Why do you look so sad? Why do you look angry? Why do you look confused? Why do you look frustrated? You look like you want to fucking kill me or something. Or you look really sad. You look like you're going to kill yourself. Or you look, wow, you're so happy. You're like obnoxious or over stingy or, angry. Almost angry happy. I don't know how that's possible. I've gotten comments like that before. Well, it starts like this. I'm going to start with a story to kind of give you my background and why I say and do the things that I do and why so much I hold back and what kind of things hurt me and what kind of problems am I dealing with. Maybe stresses or maybe we'll get to know each other more better. I'd like to get to know to all of you. Let me turn off my fan first because I think that's causing a lot of the sound. uh, okay, stop. Magic. See, it's off. All right. Plus, it'll get a lot warmer in here because I like to talk when I'm warm. Feels good, man. All right. So I've got a lot of strange comments recently about how I'm doing or am I feeling well. Well, no, I'm not. I don't deal with these problems well. But I'm glad that I'm able to talk them through now, get them out. Because for 4 or 5 years, I've had troubles, bad relationships, or, you know, I've been treated very poorly on social media or video games, or even in real life. I've had a lot happen. And so, just a warning, by the way, this is a really long video, probably. I'm not going to promise that it's going to be short. I'm not going to promise it's going to be long. But based on things that have been happening, and by the way, I'm looking at my computer screen, not my camera. I'm not going to do that because I feel comfortable looking at my computer screen. And a lot of times, that's why I don't give facial contact because, maybe I might feel uncomfortable looking into someone's eyes, or maybe I might feel warm, or there's so many things about it. I mean, I get different vibes from everyone, and on Facebook, I post a lot of stuff. And I'm going to explain the purpose of why I do it, and I'm going to explain why I do it first. First of all, I feel very lonely on the inside, not theoretically, not physically. You guys are doing a very good job of keeping me happy and keeping me welcome. Because in Kansas, I didn't get that. The ones that are watching this video from Kansas, you guys did a good job. You guys did a really good job because you're still on my friends list. So don't feel like I'm letting you go because I'm not letting you go. Because obviously I love you, all of you. And that's the only reason I ever let anyone in my life. I could ask a lot of strange questions like, well, why do you love other people, you creep? Because it feels good to love people and to care about people because it makes me so strong. It's what made Julie strong when she was in the hospital. It made my mother strong when she was through tough times with all of us. And, there was a time when it was really rough. And I've been to Kansas and I've been to Mom's house and she seems a lot happier now. Mr. Sam seems a lot happier. Frankie is very smart, very talented young man, and he's prevailing in life. I really thought he was going to be stuck because Frankie was, I'm sorry, Frankie, you were very stubborn. You were hard to deal with. And I felt like it was going to continue for some time. And you still love your video games. I think everyone does. Everyone has a video game addiction now in the family, except for Mother and Mr. Sam, of course. Mr. Sam, however, previously had one. And I think it's to get away from the stuff that was going on in the house. And even though Mr. Sam was fighting with me primarily, and I'm afraid to admit it, but he was feeling pretty bad too. And that's when I went to Kansas. That's all the times I went to visit. That's why I was really nice to him. Because when I found out that he was feeling the same way I did, he was hurt. But he was hurt much longer. Anyways, I'm going to start my story. So this is how it all started. So I was born in February 8th, 1998, and I'm going to make this as good as I can, okay? I'm not going to play scary music. I'm not going to play dreadful music. I'm going to tell my story, and it's very long, so please, if you want to listen to this at a separate time, listen to it somewhere other time. But I very advise you listen to this video. Because if you're very confused with me, if you're good friends with me and you're very confused or worried about me, or, you're wondering why am I acting like this, or you want to be my friend and, maybe you just want to know something about me, because people, when they buy stuff for my birthday, they buy me gift cards. They don't even know what I want. I think it's my family that only knows what I want. Sorry, I'm kind of burping, hiccuping, because I just ate really good food. That's not health issues, I promise. A lot of times, I don't tell people what I want, or what I like, or what I feel. A while back, I posted some political stuff, some religious stuff, and people started getting really mad. And I was like, okay, just won't post that. Because, when I look at my newsfeed, and like this happened with Mikey Leon and a few other people, and I don't get on Facebook as much as I used to, because I just don't like my newsfeed. I don't, I used to kind of avoid Messenger because, it kind of stressed me out. Don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I obviously talk to really good people, and, I'm sorry, Coons. I talked to you guys, and I didn't cut you out of the picture. My Facebook was acting weird. When I was watching Messenger to see if your messages, because, that's all I used to do. I lived off of Messenger. I felt I wasn't getting reactions off of people that I wanted. And Messenger was kind of that relief. I watched Messenger to get a message from someone. The thought of another human being messaging me on social media, or loving me, or, caring enough to talk to me at all, it was the most, like, I felt welcome. Someone wants to talk to me. That's really nice. And I didn't feel that in Kansas. People didn't, not really many people. Obviously, the Kansas people that are on my friends list they're really good ones. Well, if you're not good, you're not on my friends list. I don't keep people on my friends list. People have like 500, 600 friends. I don't have 600 friends. I have like 100. For one thing, when I tag people in posts to feel better about myself, to kind of socialize with these people, because I know that they're busy, but I want to get their attention. And I talk to these people, and I post them, and I tag them in posts. And Cole, I'm very sorry for tagging you in this post. You had to know this. Not because I want you to know it, or because, like, I feel like don't feel like I'm trying to annoy you, but I feel like this could really explain a lot of things about how I feel, how you might be able to understand me. And, Cole, I had a lot of problems with you, Dylan, and EJ in the past, and for the longest time, I was like, why the hell are they like that? Or why the hell am I like this? Why do I feel this way? It's awful. And I was like, it's probably not them. I'm taking it harder than I need to be, because these guys are obviously my teacup, but they're kind of strong. And I didn't understand that at that age. I was always getting mad over the game, and, you were taunting me. I think you were just having fun at first. You were having a really good time, or maybe you were going through something. It could have been anything. But for the longest time, I was like, well, that's strange. I've never been treated that way. Maybe I hallucinated it. Yeah, I hallucinate. Maybe I hallucinated feeling that way, or maybe I had day nightmares about it, because I daydream a lot, but I call it day nightmare because, it's always fights, it's always anger, it's always demonic, for some whatever reason. And it doesn't feel good, but, for the longest time I wondered why. And I was like, because I feel bad about it. Because I feel really bad. I don't want things to end on that way. I don't want to fight with Dylan, EJ, Cole, because, they're in my friends list. They might not be motherfucking Teresa, but they're my friends. I enjoy playing Cole. I enjoy playing Dylan. Dylan, one of my challenges. And when I do really good against him and I'm cocky, it's because I'm proud of myself. That guy's amazing. I've never played anyone really amazing like that. And that skill was really good. And when I struggle, and when I get mad at you, it's not because I'm mad because I lost or I'm mad because I'm bad. It's because, well, actually, it's because, you know, I wasn't taking any breaks or I wasn't thinking when I played. I was just playing to be technical. I wasn't playing like the champion I should be. And it wasn't because I wasn't beating you. It was because I was frustrated with how I was playing. I was frustrated that I was losing because I wasn't giving my all. The challenge should have been the best part about playing you guys. The challenge and the cockiness. Because, of course, you made me very cocky. You know, I mean, Aaron, Renee, Julia, you see that a lot. Kylie sees it. Jane sees it. If Jane sees this video, amazing. I hope this video goes across because I really am tired of being misunderstood, you know. I want, not in a bad way, of course, but I want to be understood and I want to give it to you. And I'm very cocky. I look up to you guys, Dylan, Cole, EJ, even though Malcolm or whoever was in the community didn't like you. I kind of looked up to you guys because you were so good. You may have been a little bit toxic. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys were a little bit toxic. You needed to cool it down after a while. But I looked up to you. You guys were so good. And I look to the strong people, the cocky people, for faith. For strength, not faith. That's a wrong word for it. But I look to you guys for strength in Melee. I was like, those guys, you know, for the longest time, I was like, I'm going to beat those guys. But you know what my goal is now? I want to be as strong as you, if not stronger. Not because I want to beat you. Because I feel like... spazzed out there. Because I feel like I'm so, like, willing to keep trying, to keep playing people better than me, to get the best that I can. I've played some of the best players in the game. But anyways, I've talked too long. I've talked about I've talked too long about personal issues, and you know I wanted to get to that at the end of the video or cover most of it in the story because it'll make sense. Anyways, so I was born in 1998, and I grew up in a very maybe moderately big family. I mean, people have 6, 7 fucking excuse my language, by the way. This video has a little bit of bad content, not like bad like toxic or mean or whatever, but it has a lot of cussing. So or maybe depends on how I'm feeling. I might be in a little bit of an ornery mood because, you know, I haven't taken my pill in 5 days, but that's my fault because I'm irresponsible and I didn't go to my doctor soon enough. But you know what? That's because I have trouble seeking help. I want help, get help, but I don't want the effort of doing things in life. That's why I stay in bed. But I grew up in a family of 5. You know, my mom, my dad, my mom, Jennifer DeLeon Garza, or you know, I said that wrong. I said 2 last names. 2. I grew up with Jennifer, her name's DeLeon now, but it used to be Jennifer Garza, and then my dad, Francisco Javier Garza. And my dad, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on him. And, you know, people misunderstand my dad because, like my sister, for example, like, she grew up with him. And, you know, obviously she knows her own dad. But she got in a lot of trouble because, you know, she's a bad kid. I love you, Alicia. You're a really bad kid. You did some bad things. You know, I did bad things. We were all pretty bad, but you were the naughtiest of us all because you were just so mean. Or you did a lot of things that you weren't supposed to do, and that's okay. But I grew up with my sister and my dad. And my dad was, she thought he was, well, it doesn't matter what she thinks. I'm going to skip that. My dad was very strong. He had a little bit of a temper. It's gotten way better. He used to get really mad. But it's only because he worried about us. He stressed very much. He was concerned, and his life wasn't going well either. So I grew up with my dad, very strong, very firm, very scary, very nice when he wanted to be. And if you bond with that guy, obviously, if you're Jake Dobry or if you're anyone like Holly who really loved my dad, he's a really nice guy when you get to know him. And he's one of the most social people, and I got everything I socially know from my dad because my dad was like I really grew up with my dad. He was so strong for me, and no matter what I did, he continued to support me, and he would talk me through my problems. But I was afraid to talk to him because, in the past, um, I used to do really bad things, and he had a really bad temper. And, a result of that was the stress of having kids because when you have kids, it's really tough. Well, that's the kind of person my dad was. Now, my mom was different. My mom grew up in a very bad household. My dad grew up with a strict household. He was very, he got spanked every day, he told me. And, he had funny stories. He did bad things too. He was like Alicia. Alicia got that from him because, she was naughty. She got that from dad. That was very naughty. He told us stories about what he did. And they weren't very very nice things that he did, but at least he wasn't Tianana. I'm sorry, Tianana, but you did some nasty shit, and we love you for it. I mean, I love you. Maybe Alicia or dad might think you're the devil, but I really appreciate what you do for me. Even though you get mad at me or you're really strict with your kids or, you have temper, but that's okay because that's who you are. That's what dad is. Dad grew up with you. He loves you. You love him. My mother, on the other hand, grew up in a much worse household, and that might have influenced some of the events of this future video. My mom grew up with Grandma Joyce, and I love you, Grandma Joyce, but sometimes you're a pain in the ass, and sometimes, and I'm going to be more upfront and honest with people, but I'm not going to be mean. And Grandma, sometimes you really, I feel like you've grown. You didn't used to be really good at, Mom had a rough time with you. But, Mom had a rough time in that household, not just you. She couldn't really deal with the fact that her father was, so toxic. Not toxic in a bad way, but he was an alcoholic, and, she had to deal with that her whole life. And I'm talking to all of y'all, not just Grandma Joyce, but, she had to talk, and so don't feel like I'm talking about it. But, she had to deal with that her whole life, that her father was an alcoholic and that she had to shut him off because, she didn't like him. She didn't like dealing with him. I'm very lucky. I had good parents. I had good parents all my life. Well, Mr. Sam, I'm sorry, but I know you stressed, but, some of the things you do were kind of shady. And, and of course I can understand you now. Maybe you were going through some shit. Your ex-wife wasn't very nice, and your kids were always fighting with you, but you kind of felt like you were challenged and you hurt on the inside. And you felt like you didn't feel right in the mind. Your wife did some terrible shit to you. Your ex-wife, April. I know she was rough too. She had a rough childhood. Anyways, my mom grew in a household where things weren't exactly right. She couldn't figure out who her dad was. She couldn't figure out what she really wanted in life. A lot of times she was struggling to make a living, and sometimes her and Uncle Jason, even though they fought sometimes, they had some crazy brother-sister stories. That's normal, but you grew up, or Mom grew up, my mom, Jennifer DeLeon, was Jennifer Garza, now DeLeon, grew up in a really bad household. And, that didn't last long. It didn't last long. She got out of there. There wasn't working water. She got emancipated. And, I couldn't imagine, I'm not even out of my dad's house right now. I'm taking care of myself, but I'm not out of his house. And, I'm doing a good job, I think. But my mom had to do it all on her own. And, she was a strong individual. But, Mom, you were a little bit antisocial. And it's really hard to deal with that in your guys' house. It made me, I wanted to get to know you, and I wanted to get closer in. I wanted to be, almost like I am with Carrie. I wanted to be bonding with you, but I wanted to have, I wanted to be able to be friends with you. We're friends now, and we're family. More importantly, you're my mom first, but it kind of felt rough in there. I'll explain that later because this video has got to have order. You know, it's gotta be in order. Otherwise, it's gonna be all over the place. Anyways, my mom grew in a tough household, very less social, but she was a very strong individual, very smart. You know, I mean, so smart for her own good. I think she has OCD or something because she was always nagging, not nagging, that's a strong word. She was always like, oh, you guys need to clean this and that, otherwise you guys are going to get grounded. I was like, no, I hate cleaning. That's adding on to my school stress and my, not my work stress. I didn't have a job. Sorry, I was getting off my leg. I sit on my leg because it's comfortable. Hate sitting on my butt for whatever reason. I'm not going to explain that in this video because that's psychological problems, and we don't talk about psychological disorders on Facebook. So, and that's also personal, so I don't like talking about it. Anyways, Mom was very strong, very smart, very antisocial, but you know what? She had a good heart, and she really stood up for me. Really stood up for me in that household. And for the longest time, my remaining friends and her kept me in that household. And my sister, and sometimes my brother Sammy. You know, Sammy's a good guy, but sometimes I fight with him, and sometimes things happen to him, experiences that turn him down, or sometimes he feels like he has to do things, or sometimes he feels like he has to show off, you know, competitive testosterone or whatever. But that's okay. Anyways, that was my mom's background. And I grew up with 2 siblings. I started with just 2. And by the way, I'm crossing my arms. By the way, I want to explain that. I don't cross my arms because I don't care, because I could smile my ass off. I could smile at you and I could give you the nicest responses. And I cross my arms because a lot of times my arms get cold. That's very strange. Not that my arms are getting cold, but that I cross my arms and all of a sudden they're warm. But why am I doing that for? Why don't I just wear a jacket? I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know what I do or why I do. But I'm crossing my arms, so we're going to ignore that and move on. For the most part, my sister was very smart, very brave, like my dad. So she kind of carried the smartness from mom, the smartness from dad, or the brave from dad, and she was mean, like my dad. And you know, that's okay, because my dad was the toughest person, and I looked to him for strength. And I always will. Because the first person, whenever I need a responsibility done, you know, I hesitate now. But whenever I need something, I talk to my dad. And whenever I need an emotional support, I talk to my mom, my stepmother. Well, I call her my mom. I have a lot of mother figures, so mom, don't get offended. I have a lot of mothers and less fathers in my life. I like to make this huge circle of trust. And I clearly trust you. But anyways, my sister, where do I begin? My sister was a very strong individual. She was strong-minded, very smart, and no matter what anyone threw at her or whatever I did to her or whatever fight we had, we were always friends. I think we're friends better now. My sister's way more mellow, but I love my sister, but she makes some strange choices in high school or in life. I can't judge because I've made weird choices, but that's my sister. There's more to it. She's got a good heart. And she was worried about me in that household. She was very worried about me. Because, you know, and she was worried about me and she was angry all the time. And, you know, I kind of felt for it, but at first I thought she was being an asshole. And I wanted to stay away from her. When I heard she was coming to live here, I was kind of confused about myself. I was like, you know, I know she's coming to live here, but what am I feeling? Is it anger? Do I really not like my sister, you know, because we used to argue so much? She came here and that was the nicest experience I've ever had. I still want my sister here. I want Frankie here. I wonder what he would be like if he lived with, you know, not to offend you, Mom. We love you, but we can't. You know, I mean, it's really tough living in a household. There's a lot of fighting. And I'm not saying he should move out because of that, but that's not why I moved out. But, like, college. And I wanted to try something new. It's really nice. That wasn't the stress. The stress was kind of a consolation. So, like, I got out of the stress. It wasn't even you guys. It was a lot of toxic stuff. It wasn't even just the household. You know, I didn't get along with Sammy or Laura. You know, I love Laura now. She's a sweetheart, and she's the nicest person I've ever met. And you know what, Mr. Aaron, I'd like you to meet Laura because my stepsister Laura is like Jamie kind of. uh, but later on, well, Jamie's like her because Jamie's younger. But whatever, we won't talk about that. And we'll talk about stronger people like Julia. And that's probably at the end of my story. But we're gonna talk about my life a little bit. So like that was my sister. My brother Frankie was a crybaby. He was a crybaby, but he was my little brother. And for some odd reason, I didn't get along with him very well. And for the longest time, I struggled to get along with him. And, you know, sometimes I don't even get along with him now, but I kind of understand why. Because Frankie was a very different person. He had different priorities. He had a different personality, and he was kind of scared. He was kind of scared of, you know, getting punished and doing wrong. But at the same time, he was mad at me because I was doing a lot of things he didn't like. And, you know, sometimes I would actually punch him or, you know, call him names, and he would cry and get me in trouble. That's fair. But a lot of times, he would do things like, he would, like, purposely get me in trouble. He'd pretend to hurt himself, and he'd cry. And he did it because, you know, I picked on him, and he was mean. And, you know, sometimes he was just bitter, or maybe he was a poor or a sore loser. Who knows? It could have been anything. Or maybe he kind of separated himself and he was kind of mean. You know, he was aggressive at first. Frankie was a fighter. Frankie's a fighter. That's another characteristic. I like how that tied in. I kind of told it, but I was telling a story and I didn't even realize I just described him. You know, that tells you how much I know my little brother. But Frankie was a fighter. He was, you know, there's a concept Mr. Aaron Ship talks about all the time. Fight or flight. Frankie's a fighter. I don't think he's afraid of anything. He's not afraid of me. Jesus Christ. So what on earth makes my siblings stronger than me? And you know, Mr. Nichols, you say I'm strong. These people are unstoppable. I've never seen anything take these people down before. Frankie would cry and cry and cry for hours. He didn't do it because he was weak. He did it because he wanted to piss you off so bad. He wanted to get under your skin, and he wanted to see things his way. He was a little kid. I understand why he cried because, you know, he's a little kid. Little kids cry. But this guy was just as strong as my sister. Like, why? Why is it so strong and why am I so weak? And I found out I'm not weak. I've got flaws. You know, I've got more things holding me back than those guys. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. But anyways, and by the way, this isn't stinky eye. I squeeze my eyes when I'm trying to think. So that's also another thing I wanted to explain to you about. But anyways, those are my siblings, my family. And we lived in Oklahoma. That's the earliest times I remember. Because when I was really young, I lived in Oklahoma. I lived in Germany. I was born in Germany. Germany, Heidelberg. I was 0 years old. I was a few months, actually, maybe even a year, who knows, when I lived in Germany. And I was with my mom and I was a baby. I was the second child. My sister was older than me, you know? You know what I had to deal with? I was a middle child. It was awful, but it was also kind of good because I had someone for strength. So don't ever feel like being a little kid or being your youngest child is a weakness, because it's actually, you have something to follow. It's actually a lot easier than being the oldest because you only have your parents and yourself to look to. That's a lot less help, you know? It's hard. I can understand why my sister was like that. But that's my family. We lived in Germany. My sister was born, I think, in the same town. I can't remember. She was born in Germany. I remember that. We are a Hispanic Irish family. My mom's Irish. My sister, my brother, me, my dad, we're all Hispanic. And I have Asperger's, but that's later. So, again, this video is going to be very long. But you know what? Worth it. I'm sure you will enjoy this video, and maybe we'll understand something about each other when we're done with this video. Anyways, we lived in Germany, and then, you know, I don't remember much from that, but when we moved to the States, I used to ask Mom when I was a kid about a lot of stories, like, well, what was like Germany like? I'm from Germany. That's strange. I've never been to Germany. And I was just learning my countries, just learning my states. All I knew was there was the United States. I didn't know anything. I just knew Oklahoma and Kansas and Germany and all those other countries. But you know what? I didn't know all of the countries. But that's okay. Anyways, not important. And yeah, I rolled my eyes because I'm stupid and I go on about things and I forget. But I like just now. And just like now. Okay, we're gonna stop. Anyways, I asked my mom and she told me some crazy stories, really strange stories about Germany. And I was like, really? And then, nowadays I'm like, why the hell did you go back to that place? If all that happened, why the hell did you go back to Germany with Mr. Sam and Sammy? I mean, they're not crazy. That place is crazy. Oh, that place is, otherworldly countries. You look at America and you're like, this place is terrible. But you know what? At least you weren't in Germany. That shit was crazy. I mean, I love Germany and I love foreign countries, but they're only good for visiting. That's why we have so many foreigners. Because foreigners don't like where they live. It's not like America. I guess there's no real way to explain that. You can't really explain why countries are so bad. Well, they're not bad, but to live in maybe. And you look at it and you're like, oh, well, Canada because Trump, or Mexico because Mexico has weed, and Jamaica or Spain or France. Commonly women love France. I don't know why. When I had a crush on Ivana Lopez and I was wanting to be friends with Stephanie. I've never really liked her. Fun fact, because not hate her, but I didn't have a crush on her. People said I had a crush on her. I didn't have a crush on her. I liked Stephanie. I thought she was the most friendly person ever. But when I looked into her, I could kind of see that she was hurt a lot. That's something a lot of people have nowadays. But she felt like she ran away from her household. Not from her household, her hometown, Chicago. And it's a tough place to grow up in because, it's a big city. People are mad. That's psychology, by the way. I learned that in psychology. Big cities, dominated cities are very hard to live in because, they're congested and they make you angry and stuff. So there's a lot of crime rate and stuff. And I get it. But it took me a long time to understand, why do you hate your hometown? Why do you hate that so much? Well, or why don't you, or well, I mean, it took me a long time to I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Why do you like your hometown? And this wasn't just her, or because she didn't like her hometown, but people. Why do people like their hometown? I hate Germany. I would rather be more in a Spanish country. Spanish is my favorite. I wish I spoke Spanish. Spanish is so interesting. And France. Why? France isn't that interesting. The people in France are really mean. Meaner than Americans. So rude. And the Hispanic people are some of the nicest people, I swear to God. Maybe not some Spanish men. I would never. They're smart, but they're not very nice. I'm not very nice. I'm Spanish. And what else? Well, anyways, I'm going to avoid that. Stephanie looked like she had her hard. I can just kind of feel it sometimes. I heard her talking to someone. She was like, and someone was like, where are you from? And she's like, somewhere around the Northwest region or something like that. I was like, what a very strange woman. She knows she's from Chicago. She knows where she's born from, but she's declining it. Like she doesn't like it. And then I was like, wait a second. Don't I not like being from Germany? I told Miss Elliot I was from Spain. And then years later, I accepted it. I was like, this is my hometown, even though it's not perfect. It's not Spain or Mexico. This is where I was born. And this is where my family, my mom gave birth to me. And she was proud to have me. And I shouldn't love my hometown because, the people there, because you'll never love people over your birth. Birth is more important than the people that live there. You will always hate people that you live with. And that's just fact. So I was like, no need to be afraid of that. And, high school year, I was talking to her. I was like, hey. And, she was shy at first, kind of afraid to talk to me. I could tell. Maybe her friend and her thought I was awkward. Who knows? I don't know. That's another world. I wanted to talk to get to know her because I could feel it. And I was like, I want to help that. I want to help her. I want to help people. But more importantly, I got to start here. Because that woman is like from what I've heard of her, when I see her talk to other people, she's so happy, but I can tell she's not happy. She's faking it. But I like that because that proves that she's strong. She's willing to keep calm and help people. But kind of didn't like her freshman year because she was in Mr. Andrews' class, and there's this lady, I can't remember her name. Was it Elizabeth? Someone went out of Mr. Andrews' class, left the class, or dropped out for some reason. And she was a fighter. You know what she said? She was like, oh, I'm going to drop out with you because I'm not going to let you go alone. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's the strongest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Besides my sister, of course, because she's unstoppable. My family are very strong people, very smart people. But from what I saw, that was the strongest thing I've ever seen someone do for someone, as someone as educated as Stephanie. So when I thought about it more, I was like, huh, that woman's really strong. I want to get to know her. I want to know her. But for some reason, she blocked me on Facebook. I don't know if someone told her to, or she just did it out of will. Maybe I was annoying her when I was tagging her in all those posts. But, get to more of that on the story. Anyways, I grew up first in Oklahoma. I was raised in Oklahoma for the smallest time. I grew up and, I stayed there for a while. My dad was in the military. He was a very strong guy, like I said before. My mom was a nurse, but she wasn't a nurse then. She was in the military. And, for the longest time, I didn't even remember her being in the military. I still don't remember her being in the military. She's so out of my mom's character, but she served her country. Not in war, but maybe my dad was in it, because my dad was in Iraq, but not a godforsaken war. Jesus Christ, my dad's a hero. He was a veteran. He's still a firefighter. He teaches firefighting. He's an EMS. He's so, he's such a good guy, but why does he have a hard temper? Maybe he just gets frustrated with people. Because he's so smart, he just doesn't understand stupid. I don't know. But those two got along for the longest time that I can remember. We were having fun. Dad would take mom on dates and would leave us with a babysitter, and I always loved the babysitters. They were really nice people. Something happened. One day I just started feeling different. This is where the story gets intense, okay? So please stay with me. This will explain why I'm always thinking, holding back, or depressed, or angry, or frustrated, or whatever. I started feeling something new. I didn't know what it was. I felt angry. I felt really angry. I was bullying my brother. I was always fighting with my sister. And my mom, I found out, had a hard time with my dad. They were fighting. There was a fire once, but I don't remember it because I was either really young or I wasn't at the house. I was really young in Oklahoma. But I'll also get to another story. It's pretty funny. It'll lighten the mood a little bit. But for the longest time, I felt so angry. I was angry. I was an aggressive kid. I couldn't talk. But for some reason, spanking maybe, because my dad would spank me when I did wrong things. It hurt, of course. Maybe that made me angry. Who knows? But I was so angry. And I was being mean to my own brother and my own sister. And I was doing wrong things, and I was being a bad kid. In school, in my house, and outside my house. I wanted to follow my sister, I wanted to be with my sister. I wanted to hang out with her, but I also wanted to interrupt time with her friends. She was growing up. She was getting friends, and she was being more social, and I resented that. I was like, no, you can't have friends. I'm going to be there with you. And I felt angry. But why? Why would I interrupt quality time with my sister? or quality time when my sister's, or why would I interrupt time with my sister when she's having quality time with her friends? She loves her friends. She visits them. She talks to her parents. I did some mean things, but why? I didn't understand it then. I was young, and that's when it started. My dad was starting to fight with my mom a whole lot. They had such different parenting viewpoints. They had such different parents. They had viewpoints, and my grandpa loved my mom. He thought she was a wonderful woman, and my dad was fighting with her. Why? My dad said my mom tried to stab him with a screwdriver or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but my dad grabbed her by the hair, and she called the MP police, not the police, but the MP, because they'll deal with it. He's not going to jail. She tried to stab him with a screwdriver. What, she gonna send herself to jail? Well, it didn't turn out that way. The MP liked her better. They always like the women better, because what's believable is, women are quite frequently abused. There are really bad men out there. More bad men than there are bad women. But you know what? There's bad men and there's bad women. And that's a lot of times when I was in high school, there was a lot of feminism going on, between people and the librarian. And made me frustrated. And we'll get to that. But we're not going to talk about it now. Anyways, I was trying to prove a joke and make it serious. That wasn't working for me. But my mom was fighting with my dad a whole lot. And then one day he threw out her marriage ring out the window or out the door or whatever in the grass. And I remember my mom being so mad. And my sister was crying or whatever. She said something like that. But I remember my mom being so sad and so angry. And my dad was angry, but he felt bad for her. So we all went out to look for his ring, or her ring. And that's when my stress started. I didn't know what was going on. How old was I? 5? I couldn't even fucking talk. My sister said I couldn't talk until I was like 6. But the unique thing about me, and I've always had something unique about me, every few years, I've lost a skill and gained a new one. I gained the unique ability to completely replicate and repeat out of my own voice an entire conversation. And my mom would send me to babysitters, and you know what she'd do? She'd like, hey Tony, what happened? And I would repeat the whole conversation that we had, the whole fight with me and the babysitter. Or the whole argument she had with me, not the argument. That's wrong. She'd repeat the whole lecture, like what she was telling me I was doing wrong in the punishment. So I did my own job. I got myself in trouble. Okay. I was a good kid. I was a good kid, but a bad kid. So I was kind of neutral. Okay. But that was unique. How many fucking 6-year-olds do you see do that shit? They can't talk, but they can do that. You know how smart that is? That's really fucking smart. But I didn't know it. I didn't even know what the hell I was. All I knew is that I was a baby. Well, not even that, but all I knew was that I was trying to find happiness. And one day, my mother and my dad couldn't do it anymore, and they divorced, and that was the breaking point. The really big gate. There was 3 gates, but there was a really big gate that made me miserable. It broke my heart because, what would I do without mother? And felt broken. I think I cried. I don't think anyone saw me. But when I wasn't seeing mommy anymore, daddy was angry whenever I would talk about mommy, I would cry. And dad was so mad. He was angry, so whenever we did something wrong, it made him even more mad. And I was crying for mommy because, mommy was going to take all the worries away, right? Well, my dad was a nice guy. He was going through something tough. And if I had known that, if I was old enough to comprehend that and take that in, maybe I would have spent more time with my dad. Because my dad means something to me. He's been having it rough. He had to deal with his ex for so long. Can you imagine dating someone, you really love them, and you feel like they're right for you, and you marry them, and you have children with them, and then they go away? Or they start acting like not themselves? They start getting angry at you, and then you finally have enough, and then you argue with them? That's awful. I've had 4 dates in my entire life. I mean, I've been lucky because I look like a thumb. I look like a thumb. No one wants to date me. No one wants to fucking hug me. I can see people barely wanting to hug me. Lauren's one of the lucky ones. Lauren, shout out to you. Because you want to hug me. And Master Ship wants to hug me. And my family wants to hug me. But no one else wants to hug me. Look at that shit. No, you fucking freak. Get off me. I don't want to touch you. I mean, you're a nice guy. And you're a friendly kid. And I love you. Because your parents love you. But fuck that. I'm not going to touch you. Or I'm your friend. I don't feel comfortable being hugged. I guess that's why I don't like being hugged anymore. Because for so long, I mean, first it was uncomfortable. Because, autistic. But when I was getting older, I should have gotten up for that. Because I've been doing it so long. Even if I didn't like it. But people were like, get off me, fucking freak. Hug me. Okay. I don't want to hug you. In fact, I'll never hug again. And you know what? I'm glad Lauren came in my life. I'm glad Lauren was able to talk to me and be the nicest person that I could talk to, or one of the nicest people, because the ships are right next to him, if not above. And they all hug me. What a strange thing. A kid who's never been loved by friends in Kansas and had a rough time in Kansas. Why in the hell would anyone want to hug that brat? That kid did terrible things to people. And he wouldn't even hug them. He wouldn't even appreciate them. And he was a faggot. And I'm not really a faggot. But you know what? They called me that in middle school. And they called me that in elementary. Not elementary. I had a good time in elementary. Well, except for my 5th grade year. I got in trouble a lot. I'll explain that. That's further in the story. But why on earth would you want to contact that kid? He's so antisocial. No hug? Oh no, that's Carnegie salad is getting to me. That's a family recipe. My dad's a good cook. Anyways, divorce it affected me, affected Alicia and Frankie. I think it got worse. Well, sometime after we moved to Texas. And my dad begged. I remember being in the van because I put it in drive and I moved forward and he didn't even fucking notice. I'm sorry, Dad. I love you, but you didn't even notice that. And then I put it back in park because I was scared of how it was moving. It was moving so fast. But I quickly did it, so I guess it wasn't too much. But, being a kid in the driver's seat. Anyways, fun fact. When my mom and dad were together and I was in a car, I drove into not the garage, the house. I don't remember if it was a garage because I don't remember ever having a garage in Oklahoma with Mom. But I drove into the house. We'll say that. And once I drove onto not the highway, but I drove onto the road or something like that with Alicia and everyone in the car. I'm a good driver, Dad. I don't care what you say. I was a good driver, and I was driving before I was even in diapers, dude. You can't say you got that on me. I love you. You might like this video, you might not. But anyways, not important. They were gone. It was a really rough time for me, and I was getting angrier. Without a mother, I had to bond with my father. And Alicia resented it. She fought with Dad a lot, and she did a lot of bad things. She loved Dad, but I think she was more of a mother's person. She liked Mother until she was older. I think she likes Dad now. More. Not less. Clearly, she loves her mom. I love my mom. I don't know about her. I love my mom. My mom, Jennifer, the most wonderful person ever. For standing up for me. For protecting me. in that household. You know, Dad, I might tell you that my mom hurt me, but it wasn't my mom. It was Mr. Sam, and it wasn't even Mr. Sam. It was all the fighting. Even though I fought with Mr. Sam a lot. He's a man. Maybe not the right man, but he was what I had. I had you, but I wasn't ready to face you yet. Not because I didn't like you, but I wanted to stay there because I was afraid of moving again, you know, because we move so much. It's hard, but it's nothing harder than being happy. So that's why I moved here, because I was happier. For the most part, I wanted to take college. Maybe free college was nice, learning something, but I wanted to learn something. I wanted to bond with my father because my father is a strong figure, and I misjudged him my whole life. When I was calling him a lot more in Kansas, because I used to not talk to him very much, but when I used to call him a lot, and I talked to him and Carrie, I got to know them. What, did Alicia ever call Dad? I mean, I know she called him. She spent more time with him than I did in Kentucky, face to face, but I was calling that guy every day. It's like, oh my God, this guy's the most amazing person I've ever met. Even when Mom got custody of us, I was like, this is the most amazing guy I've ever met, and this is the most amazing woman I've ever met. Why did I choose to live here? And then I questioned it. I was like, you know what? It's because I got friends. I'm having fun. I'm living with my mom and my stepfather. I don't like Mr. Sam because, you know, he's mean. But I love my mom. I love my stepbrother Sammy. He's a nice guy. I love my sister, and, you know, even though they fight, you know, everyone fights. And it's not that bad yet. So I should enjoy the moment. I'm not gonna have anything bad happen to me. Never. That's not how it went. But anyways, we're not gonna talk about that because that's far ahead in the story. But anyways, God, this is gonna be a 2-hour video. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna try to make this short. Anyways, I'm really having a good time explaining this. It's making me feel hella better. But after Dad moved and he gave up, because he tried to talk to Mom when I was in the car, driving, putting it in drive. He was talking to Mom. I could hear him. He was like, please take me there. I was like, and it shocked me. That wasn't happening. She had already cheated on him with Mr. Sam. That's what I heard, anyways. Why would my mom do that? That's so strange. And why would you bring your kids to do that? Fighting resolves nothing. When you divorce someone, make it as pleasant as possible, even if you don't like each other, because it's so hard on the kids. It was hard on all of us. We were stressing. Alicia was a very stressful person. Or stressed person. Not stressful. Well, maybe stressful. She punched me in the nose once. That's not going to be in this video. Maybe make a video later. But after that was done and said, and Mom was dating Mr. Sam and marrying him or whatever, I was like, okay. All right, well, my mom left. And from what my dad told me, he dropped us off early. She dropped us off early. Didn't even acknowledge that. But as I view it, that I know my mom because I have such a strong bond with my parents. Well, except for Mr. Sam. We never bonded very much. I mean, maybe in Kansas, I started to get to know him a little more, to understand that he wasn't all a bad guy. But, not all bad. He was still a bad guy. Sorry, Mr. Sam. And I'm going to do a lot of apologizing because I'm going to say things and they're going to be truthful and what I think, but they're not going to be to hurt you guys. They're going to be because I'm going to be honest with you guys in this video because I'm not holding back anymore. It's too much. But anyways, we are living in Texas. Life was wonderful. You know, Dad was enjoyable. How could I talk to Dad today? I was in a good state with Dad. Even though he would get mad at me sometimes and we would argue, or he would get mad at me and punish me or spank me, I loved him. He was my dad. He was wonderful. I loved being around my dad, even though he didn't realize it. Maybe I was angry. Maybe I did things that I wasn't supposed to do and he thought I wasn't happy, or maybe he thought I was doing wrong and I didn't like him, or maybe I didn't like his punishment, but I loved my dad. I loved the feeling of it. I was an angry person at the time. I don't know what I was feeling. It started in Oklahoma. And everyone thought I was just mean. What a mean guy. You know, that guy stole my fake Japanese Exodia. You know, I did that once. I stole some kid's fake Japanese Exodia. Why would that kid do that? Why would he do that? That's so antisocial. Well, there's no easy answer for that. Okay, we'll get to that. Maybe, hopefully, at the end of this video of venting, I'll figure it out, because I tend to figure things out when I vent. Well, anyways, it gets worse. Well, there was this babysitter. Dad would have us at babysitters, and, you know, he was having it rough he wasn't having it rough taking care of us, but he had a lot of problems on his mind. He was very stressed, but constantly biting his nails, smoking. You know, that's always the problem he's had, but I can tell when my dad's stressed or when he's just smoking. And so he does both when he's doing both. When he stresses, he smokes. When he wants to smoke, he smokes. So it's so hard to tell when reading my dad, but you know what? I can tell when he's stressed. He's biting his nails, he's smoking, and you don't see any because I know my dad. But he wasn't happy. And he wasn't taking it out on us, not trying to on purpose. And that's when I started being a bad kid. Then he met Carrie. I'm not going to talk about his other ex, because his other ex was very short. And I don't think she did anything except for, like, she was just mean in general, and she treated Alicia's cat. She said she was going to kill Alicia's cat, so that wasn't going to fly. But we're not going to talk about that, because that was very short, and that was brief. And I don't even consider her relatable. Or her stepson or her son or whatever. Well, stepson's not likable, or not likely, but her son. And we're not going to talk about it. But the first thing, I can't remember when Carrie walked in the house, to Dad's house. I think I said this. Carrie said I said it. Something like this. This is how I remember it. So Carrie, if it's not right, then just correct me. But I was like, what are you doing here? Carrie! And I'm actually laughing. I'm not fake laughing. Sometimes I do fake laughs because I feel like I have to laugh to set the mood. But I actually legitimately think this is funny because I was so mean to her. And I didn't need to be. And, like, okay, I guess in all seriously, though, Carrie was either... I know Carrie seems kind of sarcastic, maybe. You know, sometimes you talk to her, she doesn't respond. But you know what? That's the nicest, smartest person, most positive person you'll ever meet in your life. And she's talented. And you know what? Dad loves her. For the first time, when I was in the car with Dad, he wasn't angry at something. He was happy. He loved Carrie. And you know what? Most men, because her boyfriend walked away from her when she was pregnant with William. But, and yeah, I roll my eyes like that sometimes. That's what I'm thinking. What a strange thing. Why is Dad so happy? This woman is crazy. She's mean. Why would I want to be around her? She's just like that other woman in the house that Dad had. She's not like Mom. I want Mom back. But what's going to happen? That woman was pregnant. Carrie was pregnant at the time. And Dad swore he would take care of her. Because you know what? God damn it, for once in his life, he was really happy. He wasn't happy with Mom. Not at all. It was hard. You know, sometimes you have to fight for something you love, but if you have to fight for it for too long, then you're not enjoying yourself. A relationship is something you enjoy. So when you see people fighting on the internet, or fighting in general, or couples fighting, and they say mean shit, or they're like misunderstood, or they're misunderstanding each other, that's not real. Why in the hell would you fight with someone you love? For stupid shit. I mean, I know people fight. That's how they get along. I mean, Uncle Jason and Aunt Crystal fought before, but their love is real. Because you love someone, you're going to take care of them. That's what's important. But anyways, he was happy. What is this? This woman is so strong, so valiant. And you know what? I remember seeing her apartment. I'm sorry, Carrie, it was a mess. When Dad was at your apartment and we were in the car, I walked in your apartment and looked at you guys and then I walked out. So remember when I told you, I was like, hey, so your apartment had this in it. How'd you know my apartment had that? Because I saw it. I walked in. I'm a smart kid. Deal with it. But anyways, I'm gonna sit up because I'm gonna not fall asleep, but I'm kind of getting too comfortable. And when I get too comfortable, I start to get tired. And I want to get this off my chest before I go to bed because I've been dreaming about the same thing over and over. Not a nightmare. It's just a store. It's always getting bigger. It's a store. It's always getting bigger. And it's things I like. What in the hell would I dream about something that I like if a store represents stress? I'll never understand that. Maybe I stress about the things I like too much. Maybe I'm stressed about being too late. Who knows? I read it on the internet, so it's true. But Dad was happy. And for the first time, I was uncomfortable, but you know what? I kind of liked Carrie. I found that out when I was in Kentucky. But we moved on, or we moved in, or she moved in eventually. We were all hanging out, talking, you know. Christmas was great. You know, Dad moved, or not moved. He went to Afghanistan to fight a war one day. That was when we moved to Texas. We moved in with our grandma, my sister and I. And I'm not going to talk about Texas long because this video is really long. I'm not going to speed it up too much, so it's still going to be pretty long, but I'm not going to talk about Texas much. Grandma was a really nice person. Grandpa would spank me every day, too. So don't feel bad, Dad. Grandpa spanks everyone. He probably spanked... No, that's not appropriate. That's... Grandpa spanked me every day. I hope he didn't spank me with the Garza belt. Jesus Christ. But, you know what? He was only looking out for me. Grandpa was trying to make a better person, and you know what? He made you, Dad. You're the most amazing person I've ever met. And Grandpa did that. And Grandpa used to take away all my candy and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and leave me with Christine. Feminist Christine. And fun fact, she added me, but I think I deleted her because, like a few other people, she was like purposely blocking me out. Maybe she didn't like who I was. Maybe she liked me as a kid, but didn't like me in the future. Which is weird, because Christine was nicer to me than Richard. And now, I don't even talk to either. But anyways, eventually, after a year of school with Mr. Trujillo, I think he gave me his fairy tale book. I loved that thing. I would always go to the library. Hey, can I get a fairy tale book? But I was happy. Grandma made me happy. Grandpa made me happy. He took us trick-or-treating. That guy was wonderful. Even though he had like 3 fingers, because, you know, we thought he was a pirate at first, by the way. Fun fact. We thought he was a pirate because of what he said, but I loved Grandpa. Even though he spanked me every day. He made good food. He bought us good man bars or whatever every so often. He was a good guy. He was like my dad almost. Now, why on earth would my dad be like him if he got spanked every day? If Grandpa got strict with him. Why? Because he's his son. Well, that's how I see it. Dad loved his dad. He thinks of him as a silly goofball. But that's how Dad is. That's how my dad is. I've seen him around his friends. He's really fun. He's really jokative. Very relaxed, chill. Doesn't really stress things anymore. He used to. But he's very funny and relaxed, and he's very jokative. Kind of like me, I guess. I'm always joking about shit. Well, not him. He doesn't always talk about stuff. He's able to take things more seriously than me. But I'm more jokative. Like, it's getting worse every second. Grandpa was a joke. No, I'm just kidding. I moved to Kentucky with Dad, and I think William was still really young. But when I met William, oh, his fifth birthday. Carrie, you need to hear this. His fifth birthday. I was sitting in the kitchen, where the kitchen is now. Not the kitchen, not in the kitchen, the dining room. We'll call it that. I used to call it all kitchen, but it's dining room. I was sitting in the chair watching William open his gifts, and all of a sudden, there are my hallucinations. What the hell, man? I'm gonna sit on my foot. I'll explain to you why, Carrie, but I'm not gonna explain it in this video because it's personal. I love you guys, but you don't need to know about my personality disorder. It's awful. I mean, I have autism, but I have strange hallucinations. That's why I act so strange and I move so strange, because things. But we're not going to talk about it. Anyways, for some reason, like Frankie, I felt discomfort with William. Huh. That guy is amazing now. What the hell would you want to avoid? Well, he was a little kid, and I was growing up, and it felt strange growing around the young. Because around kids, like, I'm good with kids, but I'm so passive. I just avoid them. Maybe if they're older than 5, I avoid them. Or I don't avoid them, but if they're like lower than 5, why talk to them? I don't know what the hell to talk to them about. Maybe pretend that, or maybe enjoy things with them. Like, be nice to them, like, child nice, but the kid you think I am. So when a kid at the dojo comes up to me and says something, I'm like, yeah, and then I walk away. What do I talk to them about? I'm such a stressed person. If I tell them my ex left me and then dated some random lady and then she turned evil, what the hell are they going to think? I don't know what the hell that means. Why is a girl dating a girl? The kid doesn't need to know that. Well, anyways, that's at the dojo. Kids ask me strange questions there. We won't talk about it. And at Gaddy's, but we also won't talk about that. Okay, so where was I? Oh, at Kentucky. So I took elementary there, and I remember going to Heartland. I went to Heartland, and I went to Lincoln Trail. No, I went to Lincoln Trail first, because Heartland was not a school then. Julia, Frankie, Jamie, Aaron, Renee. I was in Kentucky before you knew me. I lived there in 2003. I moved after 2005. Or not, that doesn't make any sense. I moved after 2005. Sometimes I say things and I don't think about them. But this time, I'm thinking about it. I'm just not thinking about it well enough. 2005 was the year I moved out, because after Christmas, Dad took us back to Kentucky because we weren't ready to move from Texas. So I was like, all right, I'll let you live with Grandma. I was like, oh, Grandma, I love Grandma Rosie. She's amazing. Okay, I'm down. Maybe I won't see my friends here. Who cares about that Yu-Gi-Oh kid at the park, the playground, in that apartment duplex? Or who cares that I don't like Carrie? I'm gonna visit Grandma. That's all I was thinking about. Anyways, I moved to Kentucky. It was when I started feeling depressed. For the first time, I was angry and depressed. Huh. Why is that kid depressed? That kid's fucking... Okay, so that kid's 7 years old. He shouldn't want to kill himself. That's so strange. I've never seen a 7-year-old want to kill himself. Dad's not mean to him. His sister, his brother, not mean to him. Well, they are mean to him, but on a moderate level. So why in the hell would this kid want to kill himself? I still don't understand that. I don't know why I want to kill myself when I was 7. Well, here goes. In school, this isn't why, but in school, I moderately got along with people. But again, after William's 5th birthday, or whatever birthday it was, I can't remember, those hallucinations are making me act very strange. And I was moving around, doing things I'm not going to talk about, and those kids thought I was the strangest little kid they've ever seen in their life. Like, why would you do that? That's so weird. But there were kids that liked me, like Kanan, and she had a crush on me, Dad told me, and she was an amazing person, and even though I tried to pick back up with her after, not like in a date, she's dating someone, but like, I tried to be friends with her. After I graduated high school, it's like, that woman liked me? And she's actually accepting my friend request. Later, Cody Minyard accepted my friend request. I think that's pretty dope, Cody, that we can be friends after 6, 7, 10 years. That's dope. We got a lot of catching up to do. Messenger, man. But, I was doing strange things. What the hell's that kid doing? I like Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna make a Mortal Kombat costume out of paper. Why the hell would you do that? That's so strange, kid. Why the hell would you make paper masks out of newspaper and staples? That looks so goddamn ugly. Or, why the hell would you make a slabby dummy? Buy one. It was the strangest kid I've ever seen. But they didn't understand me. But you know what? I got more signatures in my yearbook than half the kids in class. And half of them, kids were writing hearts or phone numbers, and those kids were really smart. My elementary school classmates were hella smart, hella brave, hella of good people. I met Morgan Cecil at Gaddy's, and I don't think she liked me one bit because I was so mean 5th grade year. She wasn't mean to me. She was positive. She was nice. But judged on I sent her a friend request, but judged on how she was acting, she didn't want to let me in. She was just passively like, oh, okay, like acting interested. And I can tell that from Kanan. She kind of ignores me too. And the first time I friended her on Facebook, she pulled some stupid prank on me with like some random guy on the Facebook. I don't know who it was. Maybe one of her friends. And she was like, it's Nope Day. Like, what the fuck? Did you just friend me so you could tease me because whatever happened in elementary school? What a strange thing to do. The kid you liked in elementary school, or the kid you sat next to, for that matter, don't know if you really liked me. I'm not going to make fun of you for it, or I'm not going to say you liked me, because, it could be quite the opposite. Who knows? You sat with me in elementary school when my dad came to lunch, and you sat with me when I was sat at my tables alone, because the kids wouldn't let me sit with them. Why in the hell would you make fun of me on Facebook? Why would you tease me? I don't know. But it made me feel like I was a piece of shit as a kid. That's not important. I'm not going to bag on you. Anyways, continue on. I met people like Kanan or Abigail. Abby. Abby was depressed too, like me. Maybe she had a rough time at home, but she would say mean things to me. Not mean like she hated me, but like mean like people said mean shit about me. Maybe she was schizophrenic, who knows? But Abby was a nice girl too. And then I met a few other people. Morgan I met, but she wasn't too nice to me either. And then Cody Minyard, you were my best friend in elementary, dude. When I had to move to fucking Heartland, I was depressed because like, oh no, I'm not gonna get to see him at school. You know what we used to do? We used to fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh and trade fake shit. You got really mad at me once because I gave you $1, or I said I'd give you a card for that Gate Guardian card, and then you got mad when I didn't follow up and I had your card. I'm so sorry, but that card was A, fake. It was fake. I kid you not. I found out and I was so mad. And B, it was like 20 cents. And at the time, it was like 20 cents. Okay, fair enough. 20-cent card. Still angry. Did I like that card? Of course I did. Was it fake? The value was worth it. Did I like that card? Of course. That card was valuable to me, but you stole it. But it's fake. I can't use it in a duel, so I have it. Why be mad about it? But he wasn't mad about it. You know what the best part about Cody Minier was? No matter how weird I was, how many things, he accepted me. And he stood by me. And he played games with me. He wrestled. We wrestled. We used to wrestle all the time. I loved that guy. And I was bad at it. He always won. You know, he was a win addict. He wanted to win a whole lot. And I can respect that. You don't have to win to be friends, dude. Or to not be friends. But that's not going to crush my spirits because I love this guy. Him and I can hang out all day, every day. And his mother was so nice also. And I never saw his father very often. But I didn't know what he did either. I didn't know the kind of work he did. And to be honest with you, I'm going to fun fact this, Cody. Those Egyptian god cards that you took from me when I was younger, my dad got that from Afghanistan. That's why I was kind of upset at you. But they're the Egyptian god cards, and they're not even playable. So you know what? And they're 20 cents. So it's okay. They're just Egyptian god cards. You know, if they were fucking, like, you're not going to understand this because you probably don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, but if it was Firewall, yeah, I'd be mad. That's a $45, $50 fucking card, dude. Why on earth would you steal a $50, $40 card from me? You wouldn't. You were a good friend. You were loyal. And even though I was weird, you let me in. And you hung out with me. And you know what? You looked out for me when I liked that toxic girl, Jenna Parrish, and she cheated on me. Alright. You warned me. Hey, can't say you didn't try. Can't say Kanan didn't try. Can't say anyone didn't try. You know what? There's this girl named Sabrina Tatiana Schwartz. That lady was crazy. And she thought I didn't like her. Or that I was just interested in her martial arts. But that woman was like, I love crazy. That's one of my favorite things in the whole world. I liked her, but I was shy. That's real love. You really love someone when you're shy. And she thought I was avoiding her. She thought I hated her because I was so mad. Or so mad. She thought I was so mad. Why? I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at everything. Why am I mad? Who knows? I don't even know. I was feeling something new. Another pressure. Depressed. And I used to fight with my classmates, and I used to get really mad because I would get booted out of things because, of course, like archery, because, you know, I wasn't doing it right and I could have hurt someone. Oh, why in the hell would you give a really young kid an arrow anyways? That's a bad idea. Anyways, promoting kid terrorism. Yum. Well, they're allowing teachers to have guns to protect their students now. Well, if a kid decides to fucking tip off the teacher in the right way, they're going to shoot him. Well, more violence. Well, we'll leave it at that because, you know, like I said before in the video earlier, I don't really talk about my opinions or what I really think or what I really like. And that's because people disagree. And a lot of people in my friends list are very sensitive to that. I'm sorry. Some of you are. You know, I'm glad I can talk honestly, and mildly offensive without hurting you guys. But sometimes, I was meaner when I was a kid, so it's okay. I love you all. That's why I'm able to talk honestly with you, because I can trust you enough to take this in a non-hurtful way. Hopefully this video doesn't offend you. Well, anyways, continuing with my story. I was so angry, and every day I was getting angrier, and I was crying in my room, and I was depressed because of things that were happening in life, or because, you know, Jenna Parrish cheated on me and then pretended to like me, or her mom was mean. She was a good teacher, but she was mean, or whatever. But why was I so angry and depressed? I felt this before I got into Kentucky. It wasn't as big. Maybe it wasn't as stressful, but why was I feeling this way? Could it have been that I was searching for love at a young age, but I wasn't getting it? Because there was a girl I liked in Texas, but hell, I was too young to even understand it. She hated me. But we're not going to talk about that, because that's already passed. I already passed that part of the video. Well, continuing with my story. I was feeling depressed, and I made everyone feel depressed with me in Kentucky. So I'm glad I could have. So, at first I wanted to come back to Kentucky and meet some of my old friends. Why the hell would I want to do that? I caused them so much pain. I'd rather meet new people like Master Ship and Jasmine, or Mr. Sam Stringer, the lovely couple, or Julia. Man, that woman's stronger than anyone I've ever seen in my life. Julia, you're so strong. I've never seen anything that strong before. When that car crash happened, and you made a tremendous recovery, when you got in that accident, I was like, oh no, I'm never going to see Julia the same again. And I was kind of right, but you made such a strong recovery. I was like, this woman's coming back. Oh my God. If she played Melee, and sorry, Dad, I'm going to talk about this because this is a good analogy for me and I find it funny, but if she played Melee and there was 99 stock limit, and she had 1 stock and I had 99, I'm sorry, but I am not going to survive this woman. She'd make a comeback from 1 stock. I'm not going to explain how that works. It's funny to me, and maybe some of you will find it funny if you understand Smash. And Julia, you make comebacks in sparring too, so I guess you can understand that a little bit if I make an analogy. You're sparring, if you were losing really bad by like 99 points and I was winning by or if you were winning by like 1 point in sparring and I was winning by like 99, you'd come back, dude, by like 99 points. Oh no, 100 to win, dude. You would win. There's no way I'm coming back from that. That's too strong. Well, continuing with my story. Anyways, I'm off track by a long shot. And this video is like 2 hours long. Oh God. Glad you were still listening, if you're listening. I'm gonna post this in the comments. But anyways, continuing with my story. This kid's strange, but he caused so much story. Why is he so depressed, And eventually, 5th grade, I started to feel more depressed. I was like, huh. I was like, why? Why am I moving again? Why am I moving again? These people, these wonderful people I'm with, these classmates of mine, they hate me. But I like them. I love my classmates. Even though I'm mean to them, they're still my classmates. And I wouldn't trade them for the world, but they're all signing my yearbook. And I'm leaving. This is the end. I'll never have friends again. I've already grown so much on these people. I've made so many art. Or so much art. And I've made so many bonds. And even though I got angry at them, why am I leaving these people? Well, the answer is my dad is in the military. And he moved to Kansas. And that's where it really started. Yeah, I get to see my mom again. I get to visit her every weekend. You know how wonderful that is? I haven't seen my mom in 4 years. Except for like vacations, maybe summers. Jesus. I get to see my mom every weekend. Huh. For once I felt good. Maybe I didn't like visiting Mr. Sam because, he broke my brother's arm in Texas when I was living in Texas. And we visited my mom in Kansas. Or Oklahoma, actually. It was Oklahoma. We visited her in Oklahoma. Why the hell would you want to visit a kid that broke his arm? That's because I didn't know better. In fact, when Frankie's arm was broken, I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm going to forgive him. But you know what? I think that hurt Mr. Sam. Because, for once, someone was really angry at him. Really angry. Not his wife, not his child, not his family. But someone else's child's parent. That's the worst experience you can ever have. My dad hates that guy with all of his heart. after Frankie's arm was broken. That's the worst feeling you can have. You ever wake up in the morning and wonder why the hell people hate you? It's an awful feeling. And then, when I was not here, not now, but when I was in Kentucky for the second time, that's how I felt? I woke up one day and figured that out. Because I lived in Kansas and people fucking hated me. I woke up, I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I did horrible things in the past, and now I'm suffering for it. I hate my life. What the hell? I'm not getting out of bed. That was not the medicine for the longest time was the problem. Getting used to it. But that's not the problem anymore. I wake up and I don't want to get out of bed. I'm more happy in bed and getting rest and feeling the nice feeling in my head than I am waking up out of bed and getting up and having to live my life and feel all this pressure. It's not the people, it's the pressure I feel. But, I'm explaining it now. It's feeling better. Maybe if I get this off my chest, you'll learn something about me. Maybe you'll feel like you've learned something about yourself or how people feel about you, or maybe how I feel about you, depending on the different viewpoints. But, not important. I moved to Kansas, and I was able to see my mom on weekends. I lived on Leavenworth. You know what my dad did? He was a military guy. You know what my stepmother was? She was doing what she liked. She wanted to be a forensic investigator / police. She loved it. And she was happy. When I first moved, and after Kentucky, and after going into the mental hospital from wanting to kill myself, because I forgot to mention that, I'm sorry. That was a tough time for me. When I was in Kentucky, I almost lost it. Why would a kid like that one lose his mind? Go and kill himself? He's got such wonderful things. He may not have his mother anymore, but he's got a nice dad. He's got a nice stepbrother. He's got 2 wonderful brothers. And he's got a sister who's taking care of him. And maybe they fight a little bit, but he loves them. Why in the hell would he want to kill himself? And I'm afraid to answer this, but I don't have an answer. There's no answer for that. For some reason, I felt depressed. I was 5th grade, and I wanted to kill myself. And for some reason, the kids didn't know why I was missing for 3 days, why I didn't show up to class. And the teachers knew, but they didn't say anything. I was in a mental hospital, guys. Because I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to grab a knife and stab it in my throat and stop the pain. But did I stop there? Carrie didn't give up on me. That woman loved me. I didn't hate. I was angry and I treated her terribly and I was resenting her and I was fighting her. But that woman kept me alive. You know why I call that woman my first mother? Not my first mother like my birth mother, but you know why that's the first person I ever thought was a mother to me? Besides my real mother. That woman saved my life. I'm grateful for it every day. And I wake up and I feel bad because I don't clean for her because I'm lazy and she has to come home and clean and shit. And I'm just the worst human being. And the first thing I want to do is thank her every day. And she's like, why are you thanking me? Because you saved my life. God damn it. I will always love you for that. No matter how sarcastic you are. No matter how mean you are. No matter what kind of bad mood you're in. When you come home, I will never forget that. That was the best time of my life. Because for once I felt like someone cared. And then, you know what happened? I was really sad in that hospital. Because I was away from my family. I was away from my friends. From school. It made me appreciate things more. For a little bit. I'll explain that in a sec. But I was like, I hate this place. I hate this damn mental hospital. Why am I here? Oh, I couldn't beat that. I wanted to kill myself, and I was crying so much there. It was awful. There was a schedule for everything, and I didn't even get to drink soda. I like soda. The fuck can I get drinking? I have to drink white skim milk. Stuff's nasty. Well, the price of wanting to kill yourself is getting locked into a mental hospital. That's the price. And you know what? I was a good boy, mostly. I was crying a lot, and I was being strong. I made it after a week, because that's the normal length. I didn't get anything extended. I was a good kid, but I was hurt. But I made it out of there. I came up with a plan, a school plan, and a mental health plan. I was seeing a psychologist after that. There's no way I'm coming out of the mental hospital without a psychologist. I need someone to talk to. And it was working. I had the best psychologist in the world. You know what he would do? He'd set up a canvas and an easel, maybe not a really fancy canvas, maybe one of those boards or whatever, but he'd set up a canvas. He'd get me some, not some acrylic or oil paint. It was, you know, those paints you see at Target. They're not oil or acrylic or fancy or anything, but they're watercolor. Oh, okay. Kids love watercolor. I love drawing. I love watercolor. I love painting. I could show you a few of my paintings right now. I'm not going to do it because, you know, that's not the purpose of this video. I want you to see my pretty face, but more importantly, I want to get to know you and I want you to get to know me. But I love drawing and painting, and I'm sure most of you have seen my paintings or even have one of my paintings. Mastership, that painting is like, I love that painting. And you know what? I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take that painting back. That's what I'm going to do. No, I'm just kidding. You can have it. Your beard is too powerful. It would kick me and kick me and kick me. When I got out of that, I was more calm, but I was starting to lose it later. Oh well. You know what one of my students, or my classmates told me? Morgan Cecil. God, that lady was terrible. I was trying to be nice to her at Caddy's, but you know what she told me when I was fucking 10 or 12 or whatever in 5th grade? Santa's not real. Don't fucking tell a kid that. Even if you're a kid and you don't believe in Santa Claus, you don't tell that shit. Even if you think you're smart and that's funny. It's not funny. I believe in Santa Claus, legitimately. Fucking, it's still my favorite holiday. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Not because of Jesus, but because, you know, I was a kid. I liked waking up and receiving gifts and believing some magical fairy fucking sent me shit on the internet and told me, oh, this red fat guy's sending you gifts. But you know what? It was a concept. I liked getting new things, but I liked enjoying myself. Because you know what? I didn't get it much. I didn't get to enjoy myself much. Maybe I had a lot of things as a kid. Maybe I was having fun sometimes. But you know what? I wasn't happy in Kentucky at first. Maybe it took me a long time as an adult to understand, or as a person, to understand as an adult that maybe I can find happiness by just being me. And I'm doing that right now. I'm going to do it. I told my dad I would. I'm going to make a promise to my dad. I'm going to be the happiest goddamn kid in the world, or adult. I'm going to be a good guy. Not for him, for myself. But I'm going to do it because he told me to. That's a promise I made to my dad. But you know what? I'm done letting go, or holding back. I've been doing that for 5 years. If you get your feelings hurt, oh well. I love you. Get your feelings hurt. You're offended. You don't belong here. Get off this earth. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. And that's a strong word, but I mean it. But soon after I got signatures, moved to Kansas. But I was talking for that a while. Kansas was really rough. When I first started, I started it in what did I start in? I started in West Middle School, I think it was called, and I was walking around school for the first time. I was like, wow, this is middle school? I love this place. It's got lockers. Different classes every hour. This is so different than elementary school. What am I doing here? I feel new. I feel like there's a new start, but I feel so empty inside. Did I really leave to go here? I don't know. Let me try. Moving forward, I'm so ashamed of my past. There are some of you I'll never let go. There's other people I'll look at you and I'll fucking want to flip you off. If you're watching this and you're from Leavenworth and we're enemies, or you get this far because you can tolerate it and you want to make fun of me, yeah, you can fuck yourself. because I survived. And I'm alive, and I'm right here, and I'm the strongest motherfucker besides Julia that you've ever met. I will be for a very long time. I survived. Which goes to prove that even suicidal people can make it. It's the strongest thing you can ever make. And you know what? I wanted to share my story with you. I wanted to share with you, and especially Mikey, that sometimes even the suicidal people, even the people who've reached their limits, can stretch it further. There's stronger people in this world. Besides Julia, because I don't think I'm stronger than Julia. I think, and I'm not being cocky, I am the strongest person that I've ever known in my life. Because I survived. Because when I was in that mental hospital, before that, I didn't kill myself. And I had people that cared about me. And I reached out to people in ways I didn't think I could. And you know, when Julia was talking about that earlier on her VBS thing, I was like, huh, she's reaching out to people. I want to do that. You already did, asshole. Tony, you reached out to a lot of people. You reach out to everyone. You don't do it the same way. Maybe you're not as legendary as Julia, but you fucking... Or not legendary. Maybe you're not as tragic as Julia. Julia had hard. That rehabilitation, she wanted to walk from when she was... Before she was in that crash, dude. But I reached people in different ways. I reached to them with my heart. That's something I never got in Leavenworth and Lansing. Huh. That's new. I didn't feel that before, you know? Well, anyways, in Leavenworth, I was visiting my mom every so often, and then I got friends. My dad saw two boys walking and said, hey, you should hang out with my boy. He's a really good guy. And, you know, there was a guy behind my house. He was a neighbor. He was a really nice guy, too. His name's Hunter. I love that guy. To this day, I really love him. And I wish I didn't ask for snacks all the time and drinks. But you know what? I was restricted. My parents were strict. They're like, you don't get to eat all the time. You don't get to drink all the time. You get to eat when you're told to eat. And if you get a snack, it can't be too much. They don't want me to get fat. They don't want me to overeat like I did now. I'm starting to get overweight. And like, it wasn't like they weren't starving me. They were just telling me I couldn't eat whatever I wanted because, you know, they knew I was going to have control issues in the future where I would eat people's stuff or drink people's stuff without asking. Like I did tonight. I drank my dad's tea. I owe him tea, dude. Yeah, Dad, I think about these things. You know, you're like, you forgot by, or you didn't say that. You said you forget about things a lot and your responsibilities. It's actually in my head. I never forget. I'm too scared to face it. Because what happens if I do that? That's a sacrifice. Do I really want to make a sacrifice? I mean, I love that person, but sacrifices are hard because they're not about you. It's like giving something you own to someone else. It's just not fun. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to buy my dad some tea. I'm going to buy myself some tea. I make myself money now. And even though it's not enough, even though I don't like it, have I ever made money before? Feels good. I'm going to keep making money. If I leave Gaddy's one day, okay, fair enough. I hate my job. It's okay. I love the people there. I just hate doing it. But it's money. Maybe I'll earn more somewhere else. But I'm loving it. I love everyone there. And you know what? Every so often I see someone I know. I love that shit. Maybe I don't like cleaning tables, but the familiar faces? I can't replace that. That's why I won't leave Gaddy's. Not yet. Eventually I'll have to leave. And I'm gonna leave because I hate that job. But one day, I hope I don't get too tired of it. Because Mr. Ship shows up there once and he brightens my day. Especially when I have a bad day. I see him there and I smile. And I try not to bust his table too much. I'm not ignoring you guys. Julia, Jamie, Serena, or Master Ship, or Mr. Coon. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to not pay too much attention to you because what's complicated? How am I going to explain this? Like, if I pay too much attention, it'll seem like I'm too interested. And then you're going to be more hesitant to talk to me. That's how it's always been. I'm not avoiding you. I'm conserving you because I want more of you. You have this juice box and you have only one juice box. You gotta drink that juice box, but if you drink it all now, what are you gonna enjoy later? I'm not gonna enjoy someone later. I'm gonna try and savor the small moments and make it last longer. Huh, that's a really good reason to use. Oh my god, I wish people did that more. Actually, that's not how it works. That's why people hate me so much, because I don't spend enough time with people. But you know what? I have 100 friends. That might not be a lot, but I'm close with every one of them. Well, most of them. Maybe like 15 of them I don't like as much as I love everyone else. But I still love them unconditionally. That tells you how much I love people. Because I grew around people. I'm always going to grow around people. I'm not going to just walk away. Well, continuing with my story, because I'm starting to complain and I don't like that. Because, I look at my newsfeed, and this is why I don't use Facebook very much anymore, because I look at my newsfeed. God, that's annoying. Joyce, why did you post that? That's about Trump. You know what? I hear about Trump every day. Or I hear people fight Trump or witch hunt him. Yeah, it's not right. Trump deserves more than that. Trump gave up his millionaire life for us. Even though he's a bitch, he deserves some credit. Or something like, that guy's getting attacked. Maybe it's because he's racist, or maybe because he's so controlling, or maybe because he hates Republicans or Democrats, or I heard rumors rumors that he hates Republicans, but Democrats, makes no surprise because people hate each other. And I look at that and I hear them fight, and it's just awful. Why would you want to talk about that? Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Well, it gets even worse. Because in Leavenworth and Lansing, I was bullied. In Leavenworth, actually, I'm going to talk about Leavenworth first. We'll talk about that first, because Lansing's really good at bullying. Worse than Leavenworth. Leavenworth can make you feel bad, but Lansing's the kind of evil that will kill you. Hated being there. Everyone hated being there. Well, in Leavenworth, I was called names like faggot or dumb or retard. Retard was pretty frequent because, because I look autistic. I don't know if anyone notices that. I'm not autistic. I'm Asperger's. I have Asperger's. Well, I didn't see a psychologist back then, so it was a lot rougher for me. I didn't know what to talk to. What am I supposed to tell my dad? He tries to apply logic to everything. He thinks logic's going to make me feel better, but it's not going to make me feel better. I need nurture. It's the only way to cool my mean, sarcastic, troubled mind. So do I really need logic, or do I need someone to tell me what to do to be strong? That's some good advice, actually, but I don't need advice. I need help. Advice isn't going to help that. Words are words. You always told me that. I need someone to talk me through it. That's why I'm talking about it now. Because I've come to reason with myself. The ultimate talk's going to defeat my demons for good. Maybe after this I'll feel way better and I'll be able to give you guys my full self. Well, continuing on, people didn't like me there. They didn't like me because of how I acted. How childish I was. How nice I was. I was out of the picture. And they were having troubles in their background, and they were going through puberty, and they were experiencing stuff or inappropriate stuff, or they were in a violent neighborhood. There's a lot of stuff to it. I had friends. Why were they calling each other faggot? Why were people going to the office every hour? Why were there people getting sent to the office every year or having detention? Why did I get OSS? What the hell is OSS? I don't know what the hell that is. I punched this guy in the face. I kicked him. I didn't get OSS. I was defending myself. The guy shoved me and pushed me to the floor. Just like Warren. Well, there's an answer for that. It's not easy. Well, West didn't last long. I'm not going to talk about that much. It's almost over, guys. Trust me. Just bear with me. Well, you can always pause this video and come back to it. Anyways, continuing my story. I got a lot of shit in Warren. I got in fights and arguments. This one woman poured crackers in my hair because she was cussing a storm at me because she was mad at me because I was defending someone because she was being a bitch. And she poured crackers in my hair because I snitched. That was my issue in school. I told on people all the time because it was wrong. Huh. Kid trying to stand up for someone. What an asshole. Why in the hell would he do that? What a horrible human being. He's gonna snitch us out like our parents got snitched out for killing someone or stealing something. What a horrible kid. What the hell's he doing? Well, I'm gonna set him straight. I'm gonna fucking punch him in the face. Matthew Baker said that. He's chill now, but Matthew Baker punched me in the face. He called me a faggot, so I smacked him with a book. And then he punched me in the face, and my nose was bleeding hard. You think it was worth it, Matthew Baker? Because a fucking book hit you in the face, you had to smack someone in the nose? I hope you really get your karma. Well, I'm not going to talk about that long. That was way back. Well, in Warren, I was also dealing with things. People would make fun of me. I think when I was using the restroom once, there were boys being boys in the restroom. And this is why I completely agree sometimes with women when they say men, or feminists when they say men are terrible, because in Leavenworth they were. When I was in Leavenworth in Warren, I was going to the restroom, using the restroom. And this is why sometimes I don't use the restroom when people walk in. I just stop and I just wait, because privacy issues, but also because I was using the restroom and I was extremely exposed, and this kid kicked down the fucking stall. Not the stall, but the door to the stall, and it broke. And everyone was looking, pointing, and laughing at me. Oh my god, I've never been more humiliated in my life. How could he that? That guy was a terrible human being. How could he sit there and watch me naked and laugh? The fuck was so funny about that? That's not funny at all. That's so sick. Made me so angry. But you know what? I was more ashamed of my body. And I was ashamed of being shown to other human beings. But more importantly, I was afraid of being made fun of. But you know what? I made it past Warren. And then my dad was moving back to Kentucky. And that was good news, but I wasn't ready to move back to Kentucky. My dad was like, not ready to move back to Kentucky? Well, you can live with your mom for a sec. And he was talking to all of us because we weren't ready to move. We moved all our life. We've made friends. We've made family. I'm not going back. What the hell? He's like, you said you wanted to move back. We're moving back and you want to turn your word? We're not moving because you want to move. We're moving because Carrie and I want to move. I was like, has nothing to do with that. We've moved all our life. When the fuck are you going to let us have friends? Huh? I mean, it's not your fault. You're not telling us not to have friends, but it was so frustrating. I love you, Dad. I'm not going to bash on you because it wasn't your fault. You were told to move, or you were told to move everywhere. And when you were told to move Kansas, that was a string. We should have moved back to Kentucky with you because we loved it there. Alicia loved her friends Sarah, Augusta, and all them people. They were wonderful people, Dad. We should have moved back. And I'm not being sarcastic, I promise. I've been sarcastic a little bit this video, but that's almost because I'm letting out. It feels good. And I want to, like, get my anger out a little bit because I'm starting to feel angry again. I still feel these frustrations and angers and confusions and stuff. You know, I talked to Lauren about this, but she's watching this video, hopefully. It's really long, but hopefully she's watching it. Anyways, I moved to Lansing. I was like, wow, I really like it with my mom. My dad may not be here, but it feels different. It feels new. I'm going to give my mom a chance. So far, it's promising. Mom's made dinner. She's got a really nice bathroom. 3 bathrooms. One of them she keeps to herself. But you know what? I like this bathroom. This bathtub. I hate showers. That bathroom downstairs is creepy. But you know what? I got used to it a while ago because I used to live downstairs. I used to live with my brother. Us 3 used to live in one room. And Laura and Cece used to live downstairs. But after Laura and Cece moved out, Sammy moved into that room downstairs. And then they built a wall. Like Trump. So Joyce, or Grandma Joyce, this is your cue. Hit us up with that that Trump logic. I like that. I'm warming up, by the way, because I'm still cold. It's like a million degrees below in this room. I don't know why. I kind of like it at night when I'm sleeping, but sometimes it's a little much. Anyways. Huh. I really like it here. You know? I mean, Sammy told people to be my friend because, you know, he heard that I got bullied and he was a good guy at some point before all the fighting and all that, but I think he just got dealt the wrong hand. Carrie talked to me about this. Carrie Joe Garza. Huh, they're really nice to me. I like it in Lansing. And then, you know, they were constantly making remarks. See, it's better than Leavenworth. Red flag. How did I not see it before? These people are nicer to me. And then Sammy took me to art class because we had art class together. Fun fact, Lansing was my first year I took a foreign language. And you know what? I love foreign languages. I get compliments on my Spanish all the time. I've taken classes on it. More on that in a sec. High school is the finale, but it's also the longest part of this story. Well, here it goes. Second hour art class, I saw the most beautiful woman in the world. Her name was Ivana Mabel Lopez, and she was so pretty. I don't remember who she was sitting next to, but you know what? I loved her beautiful brunette hair. I loved her smile, her unique skin, and beautiful brown eyes. And you know, I was sexually attracted to that woman. She was sexy. But why? She's an awful person. Look at how she treated Chris. How she treated Jared or Drake. But, you know, these things kind of build up. Things build like that. People learn things, and I talked to Lauren about this too tonight. I was like, people are shaped by these things. Well, that's the saddest part of life. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I loved her, but I never told her how I felt because, you know, the love that I did experience, that I was going for anyways, because the love I did experience was way better. I had really nice people. Kanan may have liked me, and then I had Sabrina. Not Serena. Don't get that confused. They're 2 different people, so I laugh it off whenever I see Serena. I'm like, oh my god, it's Sabrina, except she doesn't like me like that. Serena's a really nice person. Really smart, too. Jesus Christ. I've never seen a fucking 12-year-old kid with an IQ of 160. That's unstoppable, dude. You can't win. She's so smart, but she's funny, too. I wish I hung out with her more. She started ignoring me because I stopped talking to her. I tried talking to her again, but she kept seeing my messages and then just leaving them. But I'm not going to complain about that because I kind of set myself up for that when I was ignoring her. But more on that later. Anyways, that's deeper in the story, but that's the shortest part of the story. Me and William are practicing for rainbow belt form, dude. Mr. Aaron Ship, you need to hear about this. William and I were talking with Lauren and Jamie and someone else, I can't remember. And we were like, dude, what if there was a rainbow belt? Do you think William would be a rainbow belt? And I was like, dude, you know what the form name is? And don't get offended when I say this, because I love the LGBT. I constantly make jokes like them. Like, I've seen LGBT people make jokes about themselves because it's funny. And you know, maybe that'll light or not, but I was like, so what's the name of rainbow form? I was like, oh, are you gay? It's like Tay Gay or another name, I can't remember. I was like, that's the best name I've ever heard. William, start performing it. Immediately, he goes like something like this. He goes, oh, hold on. Okay. That was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. Not because I resent gay people, because I thought it was funny. You know? Because it's so fake. Gay people aren't like that. When you go in public and people say they're gay, or they're being serious and they say they're gay, but they're not being serious, and they're acting all funny and goofy, that's not gay. Gay people don't tell you they're gay unless you ask. Or when you say a rude joke, when you're really making fun of gay people, when you're hating on them, like, oh, you're gay, you're terrible, like Charlie gets told that because she was transgender. She's a girl now, but what was I saying? Fuck. But I'm trying to remember what I was saying. I'm being serious. But like, feels like a joke. Oh yeah. No, I wasn't saying that. I thought I was saying something else. Why do gay people get made fun of so much? Why do people hate gay people? Oh, you're going to hell. Why are you? Why? They love life, and you're gonna hate them for loving, but maybe you just don't like it. Maybe it makes you feel uncomfortable. Who knows? But God didn't hate them. He loved those people, but he needed to stop. He wasn't killing them. You shouldn't kill them. Or he wasn't killing them because he didn't like them. Or he wasn't punching because he didn't like them. You know, gay behavior, like treating people like they're gay or lesbian or hurting them because of that. Wow. It's the most hurtful thing you can do to someone. That's why I appreciate LGBT, because they're strong people for dealing with that conflict their entire life. When I met Alicia Rodriguez, she was one of the strongest people I knew, but she was sarcastic and mean because of all the hurt. It's like, huh. Fair enough. You got hurt. Like I got hurt. I think I like, not like sexually attracted, but I think I like the LGBT. Oh my God, they're so strong people. You know that one day in high school when they were all willing to remain silent to protest against all the crap that gay people get? That was so brave. I couldn't live a day without talking to people. That would hurt me so bad. I love people. Well, sometimes you gotta fight for what you stand up for, or for what you love. And I did that in my life before. I've done that a lot. I did that with Elizabeth. I did that with Julia. I did that with a few other people. But anyways, I'm getting too far. Lansing was nice. Ivana I had a crush on. I had a crush, and it was nice. She was really nice, cute, but she had a boyfriend. Ugh, I'm not about that. I'm not about that cheating life. I'm sorry, but when girls flirt with me, I'm not gonna name people, but when people flirt with me, I hate that. And they have a boyfriend, I hate that. Not just because because I feel like I'm being cheated on. Sorry, I was burping. I hate doing it out loud. See? Belching, kind of. Not really belching. When I see that, oh, you monster. Why would you cheat on your own boyfriend? For me? I'm not flattered. I'm disappointed. I thought you really liked me and you had some boyfriend, and now you're going out of your way to hurt him. You're just gonna hurt me. I don't want that. That's why I couldn't believe when my stepfather cheated on my dad, or when my mom cheated on my dad with my stepfather. That's some backward shit. I hate that. I'm not a third wheel. I'm a human being. I love girls, but I'm not that desperate. We'll talk about that. Anyways, we won't talk about my exes. Not very many of them. Okay, so it goes further. Eventually, I start getting through, and I get through. I'm like, oh, sweet. And I was like, Dad's like, okay, move back to Kentucky with me. I was like, I'm not going back. Eventually, I decided on it. It was kind of undecisive, and it was bits and pieces. But you know what else? Eventually, the ultimate decision, I was like, I'm not going back. Because here in Lansing, I have friends. First time I'm happy. I don't feel stressed at all. I couldn't have been any more wrong. That was the worst experience of my life, was Lansing. Huh. Lansing. How could that be so awful from such a smaller word, especially when you were in Leavenworth and people were constantly hurting and making fun of you, or beating you up? How could that be a thing? Because the word's shorter, who knows? Well, things started getting worse. I'm going to talk about freshman year. High school. The big finale, guys. And then I'll talk about Kentucky again, because I moved back to Kentucky quite clearly. This is the final story, and Kentucky was a lot happier, so it's comic relief. And then I'll talk about my problem, or why this affects me. All this past affects me. And then, of course, I'll let you guys go, because it's already been 3 hours. You know, like 2 hours ago, maybe even 3, I was supposed to play this guy on stream. But you know what? I took the time to ignore that, because he wasn't on stream anyways, but I took the time to explain this to you guys, because I wanted to get to better know you. Because I love all of you. Every single one of you guys, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm actually trying to lower my voice, because A, everyone's asleep, and B, because I'm loud and I'm annoying, and I hate it. I think I'm loud and annoying, not you guys. So I'm trying to try a new voice, and it's actually working. It's helping me feel comfortable to talk about things instead of just, ah! I'm not going to scream too loud, everyone's sleeping. Freshman year, I was in class, in algebra class. This is an experience. And when I first started high school, I was like, sweet. I get to meet all kinds of friends again, and I get to hang out with people. But I have to move back. And at first I was bits and pieces, but the whole concept of going, I was going back. And I actually did go back. But I didn't think I was going back. That was the concept of it, and that made my dad sad. Or mad. I think it made him more sad than mad, but he was acting mad because he was depressed, because he really wanted his kids. He said that was the worst day of his life. Well, I don't regret it. Good cooking. And my dad's actually going to culinary school, and my mom's cooking wasn't bad. She cooks really good, maybe better than Dad now, because I've seen her food on Facebook. Well, oh well. Food is food, dude. My dad's food is the best, but my mom is really good at cooking. Even though I don't live with her. Probably won't live there anymore. It's not going to happen. Because, like, I've already done so much to fight for my way there. Now it's just awkward living, or visiting. I can't live there. Well, anyways, continuing with my story, freshman year was kind of a red flag. People who were, it was starting to hurt. my depression. And then I started getting confused. I walked in high school and I was talking to people that I was originally friends with because of Sammy. These people were making fun of me. The hell? Is this a change in fucking puberty or something? That doesn't happen. It happens at 13. I was in middle school, dude. I was like 6th, 7th grade. The fuck are you making fun of me for? Well, turns out Sammy told them to pretend to be my friends. Not to pretend, but to try and be my friend. Because he knew how I felt in Leavenworth. What a guy. Not sarcastically. He protected me for the longest time. And then when things started getting too rough, he started getting rid of people. Like his father, his stepmother who treated him better than his real mother, his friends. Well, he didn't treat his friends well. When he was around me and his friends, he would treat me bad. Not his friends. He preferred his friends over his brother. But we're not going to talk about that. Because this guy was wonderful at one point. You know what he did? Like, I sacrificed his alone time to hang out with me, to play Smash with me. And when his friend Caleb came over, we had a good time. Maybe I got mad and salty because, he beat me with Zelda. And, I was really good with Lucas. I was like, oh, I'm pretty confident with the skills. I beat all my friends. I beat Sammy sometimes. Sometimes he beats me. Frankie got good. Wesley got really good. At one point, he moved, but he was really good. He was wanting to beat me. And it was working. But, well, his friend was beating me. I wasn't too happy. Anyways, not important. High school comes around and everything's fine. But I noticed the father started treating me wrong. Why? Why in the hell would Ivana Mabel Lopez get people to tease me? Or even ignore me? Or be a sarcastic asshole? That's not the best thing I've been through. She won't acknowledge me. I added her on Facebook, and she either ignored my request or declined it. Huh. That's almost like she doesn't want to be friends with me. Yeah, that's sarcasm. I give it. Well, I guess Caitlin always kind of didn't like me. I gave her cookies and shit. I used to be really nice to girls I liked. I used to do all kinds of nice things for them. I was a nice guy. I used to buy things. I used to make cards or like buy them cookies or cook them cookies. You know what I did? Several occasions. I made cookies for Caitlin. Love that girl. Oh my god, that girl was so cute. She was tall, blonde, had braces. We're not gonna talk about like girls and their breasts and shit, because that's not what I see in women. I mean, I like women and I like that stuff. But that's not what I saw in Caitlin. Her beautiful braces smile was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. But she was the rudest little shit I've ever seen, too. Because no matter how much I loved her, I got no respect from that woman. That alone got me to stop liking her. Oh well. Sammy tried. I tried. Hey, if you want to be in a toxic relationship with fucking that whatever his name is, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. It's your relationship, your personal life, Caitlin. Oh well. You don't have to date me, but you could at least date someone way better than those fuckboys. Do you really like them, or are you just... I don't understand. The funny thing about her is that she became lesbian. I don't believe that for 1 second. That girl really liked guys. How in the hell did she go from straight to lesbian? I mean, I understand real gay people. Maybe gay people just realize it. Who knows? I knew her better than most people. Sammy knew her better, but I knew her. There's no way. Fuck that lady's gay or lesbian. No. That's an excuse to avoid boys. And you know what? She hung out with the feminist girls in the school and that librarian. And that librarian hated men. She didn't hate me because I was weird. I was like a girl. I'm still like a girl, but that woman was mean. I borrowed an iPad from that lady once. Or I tried to borrow an iPad from that lady once. She was like, you didn't bring yours? I was like, no. And she's like, no, you can't borrow it. You can't borrow one of the school iPads that they lend you because you didn't bring yours. That can't happen. No. That's a bad idea. Should have brought yours. Oh well. What a bitch. No respect from that librarian. Every time she was nice to me and I couldn't take the niceness, she had a horse's ass. Oh well. She's missing out on really good people. But this cat lady librarian brought me an iPad later. She's like, so your iPad is missing. Here's an iPad. You can borrow it, but please bring it back by the end of class. Or by the end of, not the class, but because we had iPads in class. We brought them in high school. They built a new high school after the old one. And they moved up all the schools up one grade or whatever. And like the whole school had iPads. And we did everything on iPads. It was pretty cool. No paper. Not very much paper. Except for an art class. We were painting all the time and drawing. That was sick. But I was like, no, I can't take this because I asked Sammy to bring it because you wouldn't bring me one, and Sammy was at home and he was late already, so he promised to get my iPad anyways. He's like, yeah, I'm already late. I'm not gonna be too late if I grab your iPad. I was like, okay, thank you. And he brings it, and then she's like, hey, I brought you an iPad. I was like, I can't take that. And she's like, thanks for wasting my time. I didn't waste your time. You wasted your own time because you told me no and then you changed your mind. How stupid is that? To pretend you're being nice to someone and then take it back. That's so goddamn selfish. I hated that lady. For the first time, I'm angry at someone. Like beyond belief. I really wanted to avoid her as much as I could. It's such a shame that Miss Elliott, my favorite teacher, my most trusted teacher, the person that would never betray me, like that lady. And set up stuff with her in the library on Spanish holidays. There would be no goddamn way in hells and Haiti I would want to hang with that lady. That manipulative, controlling, disrespectful lady. I've never seen more disrespect in my life. In high school. Not from that lady. From high school. Well, it gets worse. Sophomore year. Yeah. Part 2 of the story, boys. You're making it 3 hours. So proud of you. Well, there's not much that happened in sophomore year. So I'm going to skip it. Sophomore year, the only thing that really happened is that I kind of gave up on Ivana. Betrayed her, if you will. Some people say I betrayed her. But I had a good reason for it. The goddamn lady was ignoring me. On Facebook, I sent her a friend request. And at the time, Facebook was a big thing. People kept telling me, oh, Facebook's not important. You should just talk to her. No. I'm not going to talk to her. She's ignoring me. She ignored me in freshman year. Well, look how that turned out. I tried to talk to her on Facebook so I would be more confident to talk to her in real life. And she deleted my friend request 3 times. I was like, you're not deleting me from your life. I worked hard to live in Lansing. I worked really hard in convincing my dad to let me stay longer every time, and then I eventually stayed. I am talking to you. I am talking to people. I am not going to let this slip. You know what I told me? And you know what she told me? This isn't what she literally told me. She said, eat a dick. I'm not accepting your friend request. It's like, I don't give a rat's ass. You're accepting it. And I sent her another one. And then she finally accepted it. And you know what I was like? I was like, okay, she finally accepted it, dude. This is the best feeling in my life. For once, a girl that I like actually accepted something from me. And you know what's funny? This is the best feeling of my life. One of the best feelings. The other being my dad coming back from Afghanistan. That's the best time ever. That'll be the best time of my life. Sorry. Ivana, what's her name? Still. Perfect deer name, dude. You can name it a deer. Anyways, I talked to her on Facebook. I texted her, messaged her, and she ignored me for a while. I was like, oh, man, well, this sucks. She's not talking to me. You know, like, no one talks to me or messages me. Well, that sucks. Fine, I'll just leave it there. And I left the message there, and then somewhere at like 10 p.m. at night, I was like with my friends. I was like, hey, I got a message. It's from her. Oh, hi. Now it seems pretty stupid, but I was like, oh, she's talking to me. It's finally someone talking to me that I like. Come on, do this. Talk to me. And she wasn't having a good night. She was going to talk to me. And she was having a bad night. I guess I can't be too mad. I did that a couple days ago to the ships. I was really mean to Jamie. Maybe a few other people that don't seem like Chelsea or Lauren. Maybe Sammy. Or maybe William. I called him fat. I said, oh, you did that because you're fat. I was ready to give up yesterday. We'll talk about that in a sec. Well, sophomore year, she talked to me, and we had a conversation, and the whole time, she was being sarcastic and mean. Why? Why in the hell would you be sarcastic and mean to someone who's being so inviting you, so friendly, who was excited to talk to you? Because you're in a bad mood. That's why. Because your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend was right next to you, talking to you. And you were taking it out on me, whatever was going on. That's the rudest thing you could ever do to someone who had a crush on you. I hate that. Even though she texted something, it wasn't what she texted that made me mad. When I put it all together. Even though she said, hi, how are you? Where? Or not that. She said, hi, hello, who dare, or something like that. Something stupid. It was like text language. Not like text like LOL or something. It was like, leave me alone or peace out, Girl Scout. I know she's trying to be fucking funny, but then I put it down. I was like, this woman's evil. She's avoiding me because she's toxic. No, I can tell. She's being a sarcastic asshole the whole time. Why? The hell did I ever do this woman? Besides give her a flower in middle school and make her origami stuff and try to be friends with her. Why is this woman being such an asshole? Huh? Maybe it's because she's beautiful. Maybe I should stop going for the beautiful woman in life and fucking go low standard. Boy, was I wrong. And this is why I will never, ever, ever ask a girl out ever again. If you're still watching, which I highly doubt it, this is the pinnacle. This is the gateway, the final gateway to a very dark life. My dark times was in junior year, but I'm getting to that. Alright. I decided to block her. Tired of giving effort and trying to like someone who hated me, who competed with me, who thought of me as a rival and not a crush. That was the most painful thing ever. Loving someone who never loved you back. That's when I officially died. And that's when I stopped dating people. I asked people out a whole bunch of times, but I never, not Lord. Fuck! I was about to say 5 different names. You know, I have a circle of people I talk about, and I usually blurt out their names in the most awkward senses. That's really awkward. But I never talked to anyone ever again, any girls, about dating them. Since no, that's bad. What's her name? Elizabeth. You know, the sad thing is I talked to her later on in life. She was a total asshole. It's not like she wasn't an asshole before. She was just annoying back then. Because she kept talking to me and talking to me and talking to me, like, leave me alone. Like, I know you like me and stuff. I might not like you, but like crush-wise. I think of you as a friend, but I can't talk so consistently, dude. I've run out of shit to talk about. And that's why I don't talk on Facebook very much on Messenger anymore. Because I'm officially out of comments to talk about. Or I just don't feel like talking. Well, that sucks. Because now people hate me about it. There are like 17 people on Facebook. I think I'm ignoring them. And now they won't even like my post, give me or comments, or even acknowledge it. You know? I don't think a single one of those 17 people sent me a happy birthday thing on my birthday. Just the important people sent me happy birthday. God, it's that bad that I won't fucking message you on some stupid social media site. You can't just go up to me in real life or accept the birthday card I fucking bought you. So now our friendship's over because I won't fucking talk to you on some blue app. Huh. Wow. Guess I know how Ivana felt, but not really because that shit was antisocial. Did I really want to talk to her? Did I really have the courage to go up to her and talk to her? Hell no. I had to bring it up. So why the hell are these people mad? They can talk. They have the courage to talk to me. They're not shy like I am. The fuck are they doing hiding behind that app? Why don't you talk to me in person? Now you're mad that I won't talk to you on some social media app? That's low. Well, who cares? That's how it is. Anyways, junior year. We made it, boys. One more year, and then Kentucky epilogue, and then we're good. Well, this is where it gets interesting. Because junior year was the first year. Because sophomore year, I had met a teacher named Parsons. Because I used to download a whole bunch of random stuff to my computers, like Xbox Live Band Tool. Because I loved the fact of having power. Made me feel on top on the world. Because, you know, I was very weak, very sad. I was always crying because girls or mean men or really mean people, or, you know, people were really mean to me. I was always crying. I felt weak. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and ban people on Xbox to make myself feel better. It's going to make me feel better. Well, no. Because now I've got a broken computer and Jazzy doesn't know how to fix it. He was my tech expert. Well, now what do I do? Well, we got Parsons, dude. You should ask him. Maybe he can fix it. It's like, that's a really good idea. Well, that guy doesn't know shit about computers because Kansas is a terrible state to get your computer degree. So what did he really learn? He's a graphic design major, isn't he? So the fuck did he learn about computers? What is his program of study? Did he learn programming or did he just learn basic computer shit? I'm going to learn whatever the fuck I want in college. I'm in college. And you know what? Julia's going to college and for like high school credits. I'm I'm a hope and pray she's in my math class. Oh, no, wait, never mind. She's not in it. I remember Renee told me she wasn't. She's in Algebra 2 for homeschooling. But I'm a hope and pray she goes to that college so I can see her, because Julia is my idol. So don't get that mistaked for feelings. You know what I mean. She's my idol. Why would you like a woman and her bravery? Huh. Could be that she survived a crash and taught me things about life and made me feel strong by teaching me things about my martial arts, or that she got in I messed that up. She got in a crash and inspired me to keep going when life knocks you down. It couldn't be that good, and that was sarcasm. Sometimes you can't tell when I'm sarcastic. Well, that's life. Oh well. Julie is the most valuable person to me right now, besides Mastership. In that side of the dojo. At the dojo, she is the most important, besides Aaronship. Everyone else, different story. Because I've met a lot of people in my life. But not important. I thought Mr. Parsons was the coolest teacher I'd ever met, because, you know, he fixed my computer. He was so smart, and he had so much power. He could ban people in computers in that entire computer lab that he was teaching in for graphic design. He could ban them from certain things, or photography, but he got his tech class taken away from him. I guess that's part of the motivation for this next part, why he did anything he did. But junior year, I was in his class and I was nice to him, and I was trying to be a good student. And one day, well, he was passive. He was really mad because he got his photography class taken away. Well, one day, I'm in his class and I'm drawing cartoon characters. Someone else's cartoon characters, because I'm trying to be creative. You know, I like drawing cartoon characters. It's neat, but it's not unique. And I didn't know that, but that's no reason to punish me for it or make fun of me like he did. He was like, oh, you got no uniqueness. You can't draw your own cartoon characters or anything creative. So you're drawing someone else's cartoon characters. Why don't you draw your own characters? It's like, fuck you. And I thought that in my head. I was like, I snapped then. And I was like, and I was just quiet for a second because I didn't know what to say to this guy. If I cuss this kid out, or this teacher out in fucking high school, I'm gonna go into OSS, dude. Like I did in middle school for cussing out this one teacher. I'm not gonna cuss her out. Or him out. No, I'm not going to OSS. That's what he wants. I was like, I just sat there and smiled. I was like, I'll try to make something more creative. And then he just walked away. He didn't even say anything. What an ass. I can think of 10 other times he made fun of me in that class. So what's good about his class? Nothing. That whole year, I thought about hurting myself again. And then I started feeling aggressive and angry. And I started losing friends. People were avoiding me because I was so angry that Parsons had did that to me, that I was willing to get rid of people, or to be mean to people, or to say mean things. I was angry because he said other things to me, and he wouldn't help me in class, and he always thought I was copying. He wouldn't let me try to be the creative I wanted to be and practice the forms. There's a lot of art stuff, but he made fun of me for it. But the worst part is my other favorite teacher, Miss Schmidt. She liked that guy up until the field trip for Highland Community College, where we went to submit our art in a contest, and we would all get awards or something. None of us got awards because we're not all that good. But you know what? I'm down about it because I had fun. I got to draw, and I was good. I just wasn't good enough. Well, anyways, She stood up for me. You know what she said? He said, you're only good at copying. He's only good at copying. Or no, he said, he's only good at copying. And she was like, no, he's not. He's doing what I taught him, not to copy. To draw what he sees first. And when he gets creative and good enough, to draw from his head. And he's like, I don't agree with that. And then she was saying other stuff to prove it. And it's like, that's the most disrespectful asshole ever. And she got so mad. But I could tell she was mad, but she didn't say anything hurtful. Huh. She knew I was going through a tough time with him. You think she liked that asshole? Probably not. He was a salty, disrespectful bitch who challenged people to contests. Well, people challenged him to contests because they always said they were better than him at certain things. Because he would talk so much shit. Huh. Well, that's not good. I was unhappy. People were like, Tony, you're changing. Is everything alright? Are you okay? You used to be the nicest person ever. And I used to be really nice. Much nicer fighter. I used to be the nicest person in high school. People would love me sophomore year. That's why I didn't talk much about it. I just talked about Ivana. Because people loved me sophomore year. Because I decided to be the nicest person I could ever be. And it took Miss Elliott and a few others to inspire me to do that. And the junior year came around, and that was the pinnacle and changing point of my life. Because that is when my Smash group started treating me bad. My video game group. And then senior year, they started doing it even worse. Because Dylan, EJ, and Cole were like that. I didn't understand it at the time. Maybe I was not good enough. Well, I was good enough. I just wasn't the kind of social they needed. I was really angry and still depressed from that stuff. And now I can see it more. But you know what? That's good. And then here's senior year. I'm not going to talk much about it anymore because high school's taking too long. And this video is like almost 4 hours long. Well, I don't know how to explain this. Okay, so where do I begin? Anyways, this is the year where I really argued with Ivana. Because it wasn't physical, it wasn't verbal, it was psychological. This asshole betrayed me. I'm gonna get back at her any way I can. Because I found out she had told Stephanie to delete me and block me on Facebook because she didn't like me. Well, that sucks. Now what am I going to do? Accept it. I can't talk to Stephanie. She won't talk to me anymore. Oh well. Did Stephanie really like me if she blocked me? Probably not. Let it go. Well, anyways, not important. But this is just one big gumbo ball of, or one big bowl of gumbo. Jolly gumbo. But we're not going to talk about that. Senior year was the year I struggled with students. I argued with other students. I was in the office more often. I think I got detention once. I was arguing at home too. Because my stepfather, my brother, were reaching our limits. We were hating each other. We hated each other. We were yelling. Mr. Sam was physical with me a few times. He hadn't done that in years. He was doing it with Sammy. And then when Alicia moved, he turned his attention to me. He didn't physically abuse Alicia, but he was always arguing with her. But he physically abused me. He was awful. He hated me. He pretended to like me for Mom. And then I learned his motives. He was mad at me. He was miserable, and inside. Because his ex-wife, because his son, because his children were stressing him out all his life. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how murderous that sounds? Not that he's a murderer. His mind must be murderous. I would never, ever, ever want to live a life where I'm that stressed, where people play mind games with me, or use my money, or my own kids argue with me all the time, or call me names, or don't listen to me, or fight with each other. I think that's what made my mom so antisocial, because she used to be more social and happy when I knew her. That turned the household of people, not people who were toxic, but the people who felt angry, was destroying the perfect that my mom was, the protection that my mom was, and she became a different person because of it. It was a damn shame, because I missed my mom. Old side. I missed my old side. I missed my old life. Because people were nice to me, and people actually had crushes on me. And I threw it all away. But you know what? I'm going to redeem myself. I might not get a relationship ever, but I'm going to be the nicest person I can ever be. Because I love all of y'all. And I'm going to take care of y'all. And even though it was tough in high school, and I'm done with my high school story now, so I'm going to start talking about why that affected me. How it affected me. Actually, I'm going to talk about Kentucky first. But anyways, I was so goddamn depressed. Every day, I cried or got angry because my friends, my Smash group, were treating me like absolute shit. And I didn't understand why. I didn't think it was my problem, but it was. Now, I'm not saying that it was acceptable that they treated me like that. That's how I felt. Cole, you had nothing to do with it, because even though they were kicking me from the chat, you talked me through it, man. Even though you were on their side, you kind of sympathetically felt for me, because you knew what it was like to be treated that way before. Not by them, but by people. And I felt it. Kevin felt it. And Kevin treated me the same way. He took care of me. The best friends I ever had were in my Smash group. And then that affected me psychologically. Smash is my understanding. Because when I go to Smash tournaments, I feel really happy. These people know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm so good at this game. I know what I'm talking about. This game's fun. You know why I talk about Smash so much? Because I can relate to it. The people and the game. And when I see streams or professionals, I want to be that good. So I'm going to devote my life to something I like. And then people call me crazy because all I talk about is Smash. Well, sometimes the things you love most are the only things you talk about. It's the only thing that you find enjoyment in. Well, that's not true anymore. It's just a majority of my enjoyment. The rest is martial arts. It's not better than martial arts. It's more fun. But you know what is better? The enjoyment I get with my martial arts family. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm like, I'm going to martial arts. I'm going to see Mastership. I'm going to see Julia, Renee, Jamie, John, and the rest of my martial arts family. I moved to Kentucky. Done. Depressed. Mad. Confused. Frustrated. And broken by that toxic household, Lansing, and my friends. I was completely done. I told myself to get out of there, not because of that. I made an excuse. I was like, I'm going to do it because college. I hated that place. I loved the little bit of friends I had. Malcolm, Charlie. I loved Charlie. And then a lot of others. But I couldn't stand being around those people. At first I was mad at you, Cole, and I was mad at Dylan, and I was mad at EJ, but I feel better now. because I can handle it better. So I guess I can't be really mad at you guys. You weren't a majority of the problem. My problem was that I hated myself. And that I hated the people around me because no matter how much I tried, I couldn't fit in with them. And because I was trying to be myself after that, they were judging me. I hated that. I got kicked out of a table because of it. Where do I really belong? Do I like lunch? Do I like the food, or do I like the people? Who am I? Well, I'm Tony Garza. So I'm going to move to Kentucky and forget about this. Well, I didn't forget about it. Now it's a legacy. It's my war zone. But there's no longer enemies anymore. I don't keep in touch with those people. No. I keep in touch with my friends and my best friend from Kansas, Charlie Miller. It's no longer Jazzy. It's no longer Colin. It's Charlie Miller. Because that woman, that human, I'm going to call her a human because I don't know what she likes. But she was transgender at one point, and I respected it. Because you know what? It's her opinion. It's her... she wants to be called what she wants to be called. It's not because I respect or care about transgender, I really believe it. It's because I love Charlie. Whatever she wants to believe, I'll support. Well, she used to be Charlotte, but I call her Charlie now because, you know, at one point I used to call him a him. Good person. Really good person. Hopefully next time we meet up, I go to Kansas, I can meet up with you, Charlie. I know it's really tough. Right now, you're pregnant, and you're really busy. You know, you got Trey. You're trying to balance a lot of things in your life, and you're going to struggle. And you're going to have hard times with your family. Be strong and live it out. Because I've come to find with the great evil, the furthest, longest path down the entire road is the greatest good. So enjoy and be patient, because it's going to get good. Like it did for me. When I moved to Kentucky, I was shy. Dad tried to give him some of my friends. Give me some of his friends. And he was like, he gave me this one guy, I can't remember. Not give me, but he tried to introduce me to some of his friends. There we go, that's a better word for it. He was like, this is my friend. And he thinks you're pretty cool. I told him you're autistic. He's like, oh, that's really cool. Or Asperger's. He's like, oh, that's really cool. I want to meet your son. Because, you know, I'm Frank Garza's son. I'm the coolest guy in the world. I love this guy. You know what he wanted to do? He wanted to get to know me, but I was too bent up in my past. I wish I could have got to know that guy. Jake Dobry, that guy was amazing. You're amazing. You guys are all amazing. All of Dad's friends, you guys are heroes. Because you help people. That's amazing. More amazing than anything I've ever seen. Anyways. This is 4 hours long now. Hope you're enjoying this podcast. Alright. So, like, I was having a hard time. Jolie had blocked me. I know she blocked me. She said she didn't block me, but she blocked me. Because, I don't know. But she was acting strange. There ain't no way fuck you didn't block me. I made another account, saw her account, blocked off, not blocked off to people, but, or not blocked off like in general, but like blocked off to random people. She had to send you a friend request. She was friends with Kyle Verhage. I guarantee it. No, I not guarantee it. I saw it. I saw it. I remember. I remember looking on Facebook to see it. And I was like, she wouldn't do that. I looked to see Carol Verhage to see if he was on her list. Because he's her best friend. Nah. She's not going to betray me. She's not going to betray me. She would never do that. Because Julie is the nicest person I've ever met in my life. Well, There he was. Plus, like, 200 other people. But you know who wasn't there? Me. Oh well. Started when I told her I was friends with Colin. Like, Colin did something really toxic to Jolie to deserve filth and hatred, because I know Colin. And I know his true self. He's not a bad guy. He's a misunderstood guy, Jolie. And you got rid of me because of him. God damn. You know, sometimes you gotta love people for them, not for their friends. Oh well. In fact, no, I'm gonna say it. That's the one thing I'm gonna hold back on. Because it doesn't care. I don't care if they let it go. I'm gonna just let it go. We're friends now, right? You won't talk to me. Whatever. It's okay. I got 99 other friends. All that I'm close with. Oh well. Bye. Anyways, continuing my story. I was alone, and I was feeling like Charlie was ignoring me too. But you know what? Charlie was my best friend. He was just really busy, or she was really busy. And I was like, you know, I'm really sad. And you know, that night, there was a night, it was a full moon. I was crying all night. William, my brother, my stepbrother, was so nice. He was there, patting my back, hugging me. I went to Walmart to get a game called Splatoon because, you know, I thought it would remind me of Jolie. Because, this game reminds me of Jolie. Why? Why would it remind me of my best Kansas friend? Don't know. Not sure. Well, the game had a black disc in it. Surely as hell. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a download from the disc. You know, maybe it's a Wii U thing. I don't play the Wii U. I don't know. I assure you, that game was fake. They sold me a case with a protective disc. Why are you giving me some freaking fake game? Come on. Be real with me. You gonna give me what I paid for? Like a $50 game after I had a really good night playing Smash? Enjoying myself? Taking my mind off that crap? I'm not enjoying it. If I were at McDonald's, I wouldn't be loving it. Oh well, good thing I'm not at McDonald's. I'm at Walmart, right? Because Walmart gives you all the best service. That was sarcasm. And notice, I'm giving you a warning every time I'm being sarcastic, because right now it sounds so sarcastic, but I'm actually just being normal. Well, when I was ready to give up, I was crying because people in Kansas were ignoring me, being mean to me and toxic. Fun fact, everyone in Kansas talks to me now. No wonder. I wonder why people who ignored me for 5 months would God and forsaken, like, do that. Like, start talking to me. You don't miss me. That pisses me off more than anything. Kansas people are stupid. Some Kansas people. The ones that are in my list, I love you guys. You Kansas people are the exception. But I'm talking about those popular people in high school, those people who were really social or really toxic or had 10 girlfriends or 10 boyfriends and took pictures of shit and cried about everything. Oh, I miss, what's his name? I miss, I can't remember his name. Yeah, Colton so much. I don't even know who the fuck Colton is. I didn't know Colton. She didn't hear me crying about it. I didn't know who Colton was. I felt bad because, you know, another student of mine died. I kind of knew him. I sat at his table. It's the only table people would sit with. He was friendly. But you know what? I could tell he was hurting. He broke his spirit, and all you can do is cry and pretend you liked him. Fuck you. I hate that shit when people in Kansas go and talk to you more because they feel bad. Like, you already broke something. You and my friends list, you people in my friends list, are the exact opposite. Maybe some of you that I'm talking about right now, the ones that I am talking about that start ignoring me, besides Charlie and a few others, like most of my Kansas friends, the ones I'm talking about are the ones that are, well, the exceptions, Charlie and all that. You get it. Some people, y'all a bunch of assholes. You let go, and then you pretended that you were coming back. That ain't gonna fly. Oh well. Should have talked to me when you had the chance. That's how I feel. But social media, I guess it doesn't matter that much. But you want to grab my attention all of a sudden. It'd be understandable. I would be less mad if we were in Kansas, because I could go to your face and say hi, and you say hi, and we'd be happy campers. But to ignore me for that long when I'm far away, that makes me feel sad. But anyways, continue with my story, because now I'm starting to get more aggressive. Maybe it's because I'm deeply shifting into my anger stance by, like, talking about all this depressing shit. Who knows? Well, anyways, there's very little kids on my friends list. So my cussing shouldn't bother anyone, because most of my kids that are on my friends list are mature. That makes you guys feel good. You guys are really good people. All of you are pretty good people. I love you all. Sometimes we have to have the hard talks and the good talks. But anyways, I was ready to give up. I was at my dog's house crying. And he comes to me. And he just starts licking my hand. He licks it as much as he can, guys. That dog loved me. And where that dog is now, he's in heaven. He's God's angel. The best dog I've ever met. He was there for me. Baxter was the best dog I ever had. And I'll get to that very shortly. Well, I got the strength to move on because my family and my new friends were supporting me, keeping me going. And then I joined martial arts, which was the best choice I ever made in my life. Kid you not. Sorry to all y'all who thought I made a better choice, but that choice was the best I ever made in my life. Because I made friends. I made a martial arts family. But I don't think of them as just martial arts family. They're my real family. And I love them with all my heart. Because I grew by them. No matter what I was feeling, no matter how angry I was, how sad, how confused, how anything. Because I showed them love, and because I showed them care, they loved me just as much, but not as much, more. They loved me more than I could ever imagine. And shout out to Renee, shout out to Aaron, shout out to Julie on Facebook, but not just them. Shout out to the other two also. Shout out to all of them. Because they're there. And they're my best friends in Kentucky. And sorry to all of y'all. For those of y'all who are offended by this comment, I'm not saying I don't like you. Because I love all of y'all a lot. And because I love y'all a lot, that tells you how much I love this family. That's why I won't quit going. Not the real reason, because I've worked hard or because, it's fun, or because I think it's not fun. I'm going to use that as an example. I really like martial arts, but I'm going to use that as an example. Because martial arts gave me love. And I could feel myself growing there. And that love taught me to care better about other people. And it made me who I am today. Without the ships, I would have never gotten out of that state of depression and forgotten about Jolie's departure. And Jolie, don't get me wrong, I forgive you. I know you might have blocked me, you might have not, who knows. But not even that. My state of depression from Kansas, they helped me get over. I love that family. Anyways, I'm done with my story. But now I'm going to talk about how it affected me. Well, of course, I just told you. My story is my history, and I love myself because of it. Because of my story. I feel like I'm a true champion. I'm a hero. But I also feel like I've lost a lot of things from it. I made sacrifices for people that I cared about. Why are you this way? Why are you repeated this a lot. You said you were angry, you were confused, you were frustrated, or whatever. Whatever the case. It's because people don't meet my emotional expectations. And when I do meet people, it's not that they're not being nice to me all the time and super happy. It's because they don't meet the expectations of that. People, whenever I want something from people, I don't get it. Like, I love people, and people love me. But a lot of the times, like my dad said, and my dad told me this yesterday, and at first I was resented. I was like, no, that's not true at all. That doesn't feel it. And then I dug deeper into it. I was like, oh my God, that explains me correctly, like extremely well. I was like, my dad knew what he was talking about this whole time. And you know what I did? I blew him off. And I was like, that's not it. But it was it. And it took him to show me. My dad is now my best father figure. Well, he's my only father, but Master Ship is like a father to me. I refer to him as my father. I'm gonna go up to him in the dojang and call him father. Father, come to me. It's because I love all these people that I have expectations. Because I want them to love me as much as I do, but I know there's limitations. Like the ships. They're just friends. They're not related family. I'm not going to marry any one of them. Well, I could marry one of the, like Julia, but she's dating someone, and I think it'd be a little bit inappropriate to marry John. And, you know where this is going. I'm definitely not going to marry Mr. Aaron. But there's another way. Couldn't you get adopted by him? Yeah. But I've come too far with my family to give them up. And to just obliterate them for the ships. I mean, I love the ships. They're my favorite. But I've worked too hard for this. Why do that when I can get a job as a programmer and love them every day and visit them and go to the dojo forever and ever? Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll refer to him as my father. I love him like a father. I love a lot of people, but Master Ship's probably the best person towards me. Plus, I don't even think Julia likes me, to be honest. I think she thinks I'm weird. Because I get that vibe from her. When I was in the van, because I had a van, we were going to a tournament. Miss Renee was driving. Miss Renee was so tired, but you know what? Miss Renee is like a mother to me. She's such a mother figure. She was really helping me. And we're not in my late sadness. But anyways, getting back to Julia, because I don't know what to say. But Renee is like a mother to me. That's all I can say. It's just, there's no simpler term for it. But anyways, we were in the van, and we were all playing this one game. I can't remember. It was an adult game. I was surprised those kids knew it. I thought they were innocent. They know about all this crazy stuff. I didn't think they... Well, I knew they knew about it, but I didn't think they like talked about it much or talked about it at all. My God. They told me about stuff like the two younger sisters. Well, the oldest sister and the youngest sister told me they were like there was like this one day at a bluegrass, and I'm not gonna talk about on this because as vulgar as it gets is the cussing, and it was a horrible day for women. I'm not gonna talk about it, but you know what? I don't like that because I've always valued women. I'm not gonna let them get disrespected by that shit. That ain't flying. If you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to fight me, and I'm not the nicest fighter. I'll fucking beat your ass. I'm sorry, Jawan, but why did I mention Jawan? What the? Oh, because I got a notification. What the fuck? I was wondering where I got that from. But anyways, I could tell they were kind of teasing me because they knew they were teasing me that I liked Julia, and like they were beating around the bush, and it felt so awkward, and they thought I didn't know about it, but I knew everything they were trying to do. They were trying to get me to admit it. I'm like, you can't make me. You can't make me. You can't make me. I am strong. But Julia is stronger. Oh, the ship kids are so smart. Much smarter than anyone I've ever met. Those kids are brilliant. But Serena, oh my God. Lady's brilliant. What the fuck? I can't believe these kids are that smart. That's parenting done right. That's all people ever ask for is hard workers. But there's a price to it. They're getting older, and things are getting harder for them. They're tired every day, and they need a vacation. I'm gonna buy them tickets to Puerto Rico, and they're gonna love it. I love Puerto Rico. You know, I had customers about that, or from that country, and I felt so bad because I thought they were from Mexico too, and then I was so nice to them. I was treating them like with the most respect that I can, because that's what I do with customers, my family members and everyone, because just I'm a loving person. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Anyways, well, these people were nice, and then they gave me a tip, like, you know, you're so nice, you know, most Americans aren't nice, and the most places we go to get disrespected. And I was like, Americans aren't nice. That's true. Most Americans. And then they're like, you know, most Americans think we're from Mexico, and it's just disrespectful. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh shit, what do I tell her? I did think she was from Mexico. And then I was like, well, like, to make myself feel better and to kind of rationalize that, because I kind of felt like they were from Puerto Rico, but then I denied it. I was like, they're not from Puerto Rico, are they? I don't know. That's always my second guess, if it's not Mexico. Or reversed. Sometimes I think they're from Puerto Rico, or people are from Puerto Rico and not Mexico. You can kind of tell. The Puerto Ricans are more friendly. Well, anyways, getting to my problems. You guys notice that I've been shifting, like throughout this video and the behavior. I kind of got angry, or I was really jokey, or I was really serious, or depressing, or I was really moody, like I was setting the mood. I didn't mean like moody, like angry, because I already said that. It's because of my past and the things that set it up. I was so used to extreme emotions and feeling happy, and then immediately getting something, feeling sad, and then getting resolution and feeling really happy, or relieved, not happy, or I was always annoyed because, you know, the people around me were sarcastic assholes, or, you know, maybe I couldn't get something, or maybe I was frustrated because I couldn't win something. And for the longest time, I kind of resented that. I was like, you know what? I don't want to tell the truth. I want to kind of beat around the bush and pretend like it's not real, because that's going to affect me in a way. It's going to make me feel shameful. I don't want to feel shameful. And I was like, sometimes you got to, now I'm like, sometimes you got to tell the truth. It makes you feel better. Maybe not other people, but sometimes you just got to say it. Doesn't mean you don't love them. The ultimate lesson is keep your heart, guard it, love them, and never hold back. You might not be liked by everyone because you'll be truthful, but at least you won't hurt on the inside like I did. And Miss Renee told me this, and I thank you, Miss Renee. But sometimes, oh, I can't remember what I say. Well, this video is almost over anyways, like 5 minutes later. Miss Renee said sometimes, what did she say? I gotta remember this because this is a good punchline. Not a punchline, but I can't remember what she was saying. But anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. You can't just hold back. Oh yeah, she's telling me to kind of warn other people, tell people about these things so that they don't end up like you. And that was kind of like what happened to Julia, she said. But the biggest lesson in this is sometimes you have to express yourself. That's my song. That's my favorite song by NWA. It's the only favorite song I have from them. But I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because I've completely shattered the darkness in my heart. And I've told you my inner demons. But more importantly, I've informed you about me. And now hopefully we can be better friends. And we can be closer. And I can talk to you and you can look at me. And when I'm silent and I'm taking back words, you can help me through it. But I'm glad I got to talk to you guys and express myself and be in front of you. And more importantly, I'm glad you guarded me and I'm glad I guarded you guys. Thank you for watching.